Yeah.
Yeah, you're Jack. You can be kind of a sap sometimes.
What's that?
You can be kind of a sap sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was wearing these sleeves that I have for glass cutting. And they like go up over your hand and they only go up to your elbow or so.
Uh-huh.
And I walked in the office to ask someone a question and they said, "Oh, so you're emo today."
Huh. Well, if that doesn't say an awful lot about, like if it wasn't you, if it was like some regular guy from the shop floor that came in and did something like that, and they would have gotten that response from an office worker, there would have been no end to the amount of like bitching and griping that would have gone on the work floor about how those people upstairs, they don't have a fucking clue what we do down here, and they're getting paid all this money and we're getting paid dog shit and blah 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 blah. Like,
Yeah.
just like a casual comment like that from somebody who quite frankly doesn't know what the fuck goes on downstairs.
It was incendiary.
Yeah, I couldn't. If it wasn't you, like that would have been just a horror show to have to deal with.
I just thought you were emo today, she said.
Yeah, no, it couldn't be the fact that you were doing actual work.
Oh. Was it not?
But I told her I'm emo every day.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm sure whoever this person is that Jack's referencing, I'm just taking it that she doesn't know what those gloves are for.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Not that I know this person in particular, but Jack probably wouldn't have said it the way he said it if there wasn't the implied inference that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my friend that I hired, so you could just say things like that to me for my friend.
Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. You're very worldly and accepting and all that stuff kind of individual. Things slide off of you that wouldn't slide off of normal people.
You're abnormal.
Yeah. I don't really care what people call me.
Well, normal people are a little bit sensitive about stuff, and like
normal people are pros.
Well, there's a lot of abnormal people that are sensitive about a lot of things too. But
yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like, yeah, there's this guy back in extrusion who, the extrusion department, probably about 6 months ago, there was a lot of arguments over the radio. So I kind of banned the radios back there.
Yeah, that's what you do whenever there's arguments over the radio.
Yeah, and for a secondary reason, they kind of have to be able to hear the sounds back there. There's a lot of motors and pumps running and things like that.
Yeah, so having a radio loud enough that everybody could hear it is probably problematic for work safety reasons.
Yeah. So there's this one guy back there, and he's always trying to sneak radios. And basically the way that I justified it was I said, well, OSHA says you can't have appliances in the shop.
Uh-huh.
So we can't have these radios.
Yeah.
So this guy went out on a search on finding a workplace safe, like OSHA approved radio.
Huh.
And he bought it and he brought it in, and he was listening to it, and someone said something to him and he's like, oh, well, no, this one, it's not an appliance.
Okay.
So it came to my attention and I said, you know what? if he's gonna be like that, like I'm banning, no radios. I'm banning all radios.
Yeah.
So this radio thing became like a huge issue.
Uh-huh.
And I eventually had to say, well, you know what? Because the guys in window manufacturing, they don't have any radios, but Dominic asked me if they had like a personal device, if they could listen to that. And I said, yeah, that's fine. So
Yeah.
it basically turned into this issue of, well, it's not fair that they get to listen to music. So then I had to impose a universal ban on radios.
Oh my god.
Well, I guess at that point you look at well, yeah, that's probably your best bet as the employer is to just impose a universal ban on radios. However, I think another way to approach that. Oh yeah, yeah, but like that's the type of people who work the same job for 30 years. They're just children.
They're just
yeah, they're
they're more
just,
focused on the radio than the product quality.
Yeah.
So you just gotta ban the radio.
yeah.
You know,
Well, the other solution that you could have gone with is you know and this is probably not a road that you want to go down, but a solution that could have come to your consideration was, well, that would have just been a nightmare to have to do. But what I was thinking was, you tell the people that are in that other room that, like, well, you guys make more money because you have to deal with this, or whatever. And so,
It doesn't matter. You have a different job. Like,
yeah, that's how a normal person That's how a normal person thinks, Katrina.
you ever?
You know,
right?
I'm doing job A, and there's certain things about job A that makes listening to a radio bad. That person's doing job B. Maybe they could listen to music. That's how a normal person thinks.
Yeah.
But a way a Vinyl employee thinks is, oh, it's not fair that person gets to listen to music and I don't.
Yeah.
Well, what he said was, I can't afford. Those guys have personal listening devices. You know, I didn't know there was a product like this before, but there's this one guy. He has like this speaker array that fits over his shoulders like a collar.
Yeah.
So he's got like these like 4-inch speakers sitting on his shoulders, and they're not loud. Like you can't really hear it unless if you get maybe within 3 or 4 feet of them.
Yeah.
So these guys have this tech I've never seen before.
Yeah.
So the extrusion guy's like, well, I can't afford that stuff, so I got this industrial OSHA approved radio instead. All right. Well, the thing is, like, I just got tired of hearing about this.
Right.
Why do you have to be a babysitter?
That's
a part of it.
Your boss. You're just everybody's babysitter.
I am aware of that. Still.
No one has any consideration that shouldn't even come close to something I have to deal with.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, if everybody else would just be smart about it, everybody could have personal listening devices or radios or whatever. Yeah. The idea is, if your listening to your music interferes with somebody else's ability to do their job, you either need to turn it down or figure out another way to listen to your music. But since people in the shop can't figure that out on an individual level, now that it's the boss's problem, no more fucking radios. How about
exactly. That's the lesson I'm trying to teach them. Like, if you can't handle it down on the floor, then it truly is a privilege you can lose. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's a privilege you can.
And the thing about it is, like, he works back in the extrusion department. And he makes more money than the guys in the window manufacturing department.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't want to be transferred into the window manufacturing department where they make less.
Yeah.
Just so he can listen to music.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying. That's a thing that you can bring up to him in the you make more money back there. just live with it and let the guys in the glass manufacturing department listen to their music. If they want to make more money, they can stop listening to music and come back there and work harder.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of it too is they just don't have enough to do, where that's just a preoccupation of theirs.
Yeah, who's
Yeah,
gonna?
maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's yeah. You bring that up to people in those type of situations, and that gets them to shut up real quick because it's like, yeah, it's not like, yeah,
Looking for
yeah,
work.
yeah, right, yeah. Oh, I guess I could be doing more work for for what you're paying me, but I don't know. Some of those guys, they're little fucking shysters too, and they'll take you to court for every dime.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when I'm working in the glass department, my mind is engaged somewhere else. I'm thinking about other things I have to do, or I'm just working in a different way. So
Yeah,
I'm actually doing two jobs.
yeah,
If you're back there doing your job and you're so good at it where your mind is completely dead and it's torture, maybe at that point you should move on. Go to something more challenging, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. No,
But if you need the music to pass the time, then maybe you need more responsibility, or
well,
maybe you need
I can see how having music is like I enjoy music personally. It's individually motivating, and even if I have a mentally strenuous task to do, I enjoy doing it to music. However,
yeah,
I realize that my choice of music is not everybody else's choice of music, and
right.
I limit my listening method to if I can have it blaring out speakers, I'll do that. But if I have to limit it to nothing, like when you're on pad, you need to be able to hear if there's a fucking emergency. So
Right, right,
you can't
exactly.
be listening to music at all on pad. Nobody's allowed to listen to music on pad. Because something could blow up and people could die.
Right.
So you need to be able to know if that's going to happen. So no headphones.
Yeah.
That's
The biggest thing is that, yeah, it is a safety thing. It really is. And if that person isn't giving that consideration, I just don't really know what can be done for this guy, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it really is like Katrina mentioned, they're like kids. It really is
Yeah, they're
like
great.
having a kid, because you're saying don't listen to music, it's for your own best interest.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah, they don't
right,
understand.
exactly. They just insist that they can listen to music.
Yeah.
Well, you're not
Yeah.
listening to music. You know, if you listen to the music, you're grounded.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not fair. It's not fair.
Well,
I mean, that's probably the first rite of passage into maturity is
yeah. You give up
when
what
you realize that, you know, some people, like, not everything is the same for everyone.
Yeah. That's really Louis C.K. has a good bit about that where actually it was
Yeah, the kid.
he makes he makes a particular sandwich for his eldest daughter, and then the younger daughter comes up and he's like, well, where's my XYZ sandwich? Well, he's like, well, I only had enough to make one sandwich, and she's like, well, that's not fair. And he sits down and explains to her, well, rather than just the life isn't fair, so get over it talk, it's like you know you don't look at what other people have, and say I want some of that. You look The only time you should ever look at what other people have is to make sure that they have enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just like
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a good lesson.
he really crushed it with that. It's like, on top of the whole, life isn't a fair thing and people are going to get stuff that you're not going to get. You shouldn't get upset when other people get more than you.
Yeah. You should get upset if they don't have enough. That's a good lesson.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good lesson.
Yeah, that'll make a good
this guy, he's got to be early 50s. He's definitely old enough where if someone tells you not to listen to music, you should be okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where he probably grew up in an era of, that like people in that general age vicinity grew up where pretty much everybody worked in a union, and how long you had been there mattered so much that like the most senior guy could pretty much do whatever he wanted. And and people like that think that once you get to be so old, or once you get to be so secure in a job, you can pretty much do whatever you want. And it turns out, unless you're actually in a union, that's not how things work, and you have to actually earn your keep the entire time.
Yeah, he kind of mentioned that. He didn't actually talk to me about this. It was kind of like the HR guy that we kind of have. He kind of serves as the HR guy, but he does other things too. And he mentioned to him, well, my job is more important than the job of others. These lesser people get to listen to music. Certainly, myself having a much more important job should be able to listen to it as well.
No,
that is just so arrogant,
Yeah,
the arrogance of that, and the dehumanizing of the window manufacturing employees.
You need to sit him down and have a talk about responsibility of that person, because that person has clearly never been in a position where they need to be responsible for anything. Yeah, because you realize, if you think your job is that important, why do you think you should listen to music while doing it? If it's so, if you're so valuable, maybe we could talk about paying you more, and you need to focus harder. If your job is so important that you're irreplaceable at it, and you're just so good, why do you think it's appropriate to listen to music while doing your job?
He also argued because of his skill, he has the additional ability, whereas maybe someone working his job isn't as skilled, and so they can't listen to music. He has reached the point where he can. That's pretty subjective, and I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
We have material problems. Sometimes we have quality issues.
Yeah.
To me, there's a we can do better.
If it was just a one-man department, there would still be errors, and it would, every once in a while he'd screw up, and and even if it was a one-man department, he might be able to justify it to you at that point. But no, you can't.
Yeah. He's not that good.
He's not that good. Yeah.
So the next day, Dominic, he was on vacation, and he got back, and he heard about this radio ban. And there's really only two people that listen to music. This one guy who's a temp, and Dominic's brother-in-law. His name is Jonathan. And Dominic came in, and he's like, "Hey, I just wanted to make one comment about the this radio thing." He's like, you need to go back there and just tell that guy to suck it up, and you should let the window manufacturing people listen to music.
Oh, okay. All right.
And he's like, you have people here, and that's why I mentioned there's only two people that listen to music. You have people here trying to raise families on $12, $13 an hour, And this listening to music while at work is the one bright spot during their day.
Yeah, I can see Dominic having that attitude about that.
Well, he wouldn't have the attitude if
No, yeah, no,
his brother-in-law wasn't one of them.
Yeah, no, he's
know?
personally invested. You know, and he's the type of person he really goes after something he believes in, and I think, you know, like, family is something that Dominic seriously believes in, so he's gonna fight for, you know, something, you know, you know, is you know, whatever, in, you know, relative. Like, hey, Dominic, can you say something to the boss? You're his friend. Can you talk him out of it? And
yeah, I'm sure that's what happened.
yeah, you know, and rather than, I guess, like, to Dominic's credit, rather than coming up to you and being like, "Hey, buddy, can you, like, you know, nepotism favorites and stuff?" You know, he actually came up and tried to make like a legitimate argument. You know.
He says it's a morale issue. You need to let these people listen to music.
Yeah, he did it. Yeah, he did his best to not just be like, "Hey, buddy, do me a favor."
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned it before. I've gone into the shops of the customers, and they're Amish guys, so you go into their shops and it's just dead silence.
Yeah. Yeah,
and you know what?
They work until the work's done, and then they go home and churn butter or what the fuck ever.
Whatever they do, yeah, yeah. There's this one shop that the family was Mennonite, so they had electricity, and it was just a guy, his wife, and his 2 or 3 daughters. They worked in the shop, and the one girl, she was probably 8 years old or so. And I asked her, "Man, it's quiet around here. Your dad doesn't let you listen to music?" And she's like, "Well, sometimes we get to listen to hymns."
And she's probably excited about that.
Yeah, she was fired up about it.
Yeah. Well, that's
so Dominic's like, "Well, this is a different, he's like, this is a different world. These people aren't Amish." Yeah, but they're humans,
Yeah. Yeah, as it turns out, they can actually, focus and do a goddamn job without music.
You just focus on your work and you go home.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and and the other thing that I don't think these people realize, especially with an hourly job that's like that, if they work harder, they have cause to come to you and say, "I deserve more money." Like, they could make themselves more proficient at their jobs.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, like at the, like, hey, I don't know if you've noticed, but like, I've been getting my work done in an extremely expedient manner. Maybe I deserve some more money.
Right. That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
They should be spending their energy thinking of stuff like that instead of, how can I listen to music?
Yeah, and it's not, and if there's something that you're going to come to Jack over, it's like, hey, I've been working extraordinarily hard. Where's my extra money? That's something Jack will listen to you about.
Right. But I cannot tell you how out of the realm of things I consider. I mean, yeah, you're right. If you're going to come up to me and say, "Oh, I'd really like to listen to music."
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Get out of here.
I don't care about that. I want you to make good windows.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you can make a better window.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
Think about that.
Yeah.
not only for my benefit, but for yours as well.
Are you going to put that in?
But it really is interesting. I mean, it really is interesting. And that really just kind of shows you just how consistent the work is around here. It's consistent from their perspective. It's consistent, reliable. They come in, there's almost a fixed amount of stuff for them to do, and then they leave. And they come in, and there's still work left for them to do.
Yeah.
Where all of these things now, just because of the monotony almost, and just because of the routine of their lives, these are the issues that they face.
Yeah.
Oh, I get bored. I need
Yeah.
they'll be fine. You know,
Yeah.
everything comes down to choice. Dominic's brother-in-law, who I'm sure is perturbed about
He'll get
not
over it.
being able to listen to the music,
Yeah.
he could work somewhere else. Dominic wanted him to leave.
Yeah.
There was some steel plant or something that was hiring, and I guess it started at like 70,000.
Hmm.
It was just like a steel plant worker job, so it wasn't like a foreman or anything. It might have been like a physical job in a
Where's this
dangerous
at?
environment in Youngstown.
Hmm.
Maybe like within an hour of Youngstown.
Hmm.
And he's like, I would consider it, but I don't want to work that hard. But
Yeah, that's a big thing. Is some people don't want to work that hard.
but he's like, there's really not for him. He only has a high school education. There's not really a lot of opportunities like this. In addition, he has 2 kids with a third on the way. This is probably something he should jump at.
Yeah.
So he didn't. He made the choice to continue to work in the window manufacturing plant for
Yeah.
far less money.
Yeah.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can't have an easy job and listen to music.
Yeah.
In an environment where listening to music is a controversial topic.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Man, Dominic even mentioned that. There's this plant across the street from Vinylum. It's an enormous building. You might remember it. And they have this big roll-up door. It's always open. Man, that thing's got to be 30 feet tall. And you could always hear music just blaring out of it. He's like, they listen to music across the street. Well, Jonathan can go work across the street,
This place of employment.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Go listen. Go work across the street.
Right, go over there. They might have more rigorous standards than we do.
Well, I'm sure the thing is, it's not about the music. It's about somebody wants to listen to X music and somebody wants to listen to Y music, and they're so at odds about that it becomes your problem. If they could just settle on whatever music they wanted to listen to, I'm sure it would be fine.
I think yeah, I might have mentioned it before. That might have been the start of when I kicked the radios out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you just can't. And I know I said it before. Like, this is the lesson I'm trying to teach here. Don't bring this stuff to me. Figure it out among yourselves.
Yeah. Yep.
Because if you bring it to me, the radios are gonna be gone.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that, you almost need a middle manager between you and your and the warehouse people that understands the difference and and actually has time for such nonsense.
Yeah, it really is a difference of perspective too. My focus is getting the product out at a good level of quality quickly.
Yeah.
And maybe their lives at home are pretty hectic, and coming to work is an escape. And if you can't listen to music while at work, well, then that just makes the chaos of your home life even more unbearable.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't really operate a business trying to soften the lives of the employees.
Right. Yeah.
Poor Carl, he's got it rough at home. I should give him 1 hour video game breaks.
Right. Yeah, no. Yeah, yeah, and you get that. And if these guys were totally irreplaceable, it might be a different story.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's exactly it.
You can just pick up Joe Schmo off the street who would be happy to make that much money and train him up in about a 3-month period, and there you go.
Yeah, that's exactly it. if they were replaceable, then you would kind of have to bend a little.
Yeah.
But given that they're not, you don't have to. And I think there is an understanding. I mean, Carl, he probably makes like 1650, 1675. He works 40 hours a week. Never has to work overtime.
Huh.
Has weekends off. I think a lot of people would love that. You'd love it if you don't have that. You know what I mean? It truly is one of those scenarios.
Yeah. If you're sat there without a job and wondering how you're gonna make your next month's rent or something, that sounds like a dream.
Right. Yeah. There's just a lot that can be learned. Managing people, observing the diversity, observing the culture that develops, and the group as a whole is much like children.
Yeah, that's
and just watching what really motivates people, where you have a person who makes an hourly employee. Like, we have one person who is always, sometimes they get behind on bills, so they'll ask for pay advances. So you have this person that obviously is short on money, yet when overtime opportunities come up, they never take them.
Huh.
And so you're watching this and it just blows your mind.
Huh.
Because wow, they just asked me for money last week.
Yeah.
But they won't work beyond this certain point.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what's going on in their life that they.
Well, individuals just gravitate towards a comfort zone.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Right.
There's a comfort level with that balance between their wage and the occasional employee loan, where to free themselves from that would require a little more work, which they might not be comfortable with.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
So they'll exchange maybe a harder job somewhere else, for the comfort that they've achieved. There's a value there.
Yes.
The extra money may be going somewhere else, or the extra money from working longer hours, that does not exceed the qualitative value of working 40 hours a week and maintaining the balance between employee loans and the wage they make.
Right. I mean, yeah, I was thinking, maybe that person's like depressed or has some other issues, but I think the fact of the matter is that's probably not usually the case. I think it is a common thing most of the time.
It's just a lifestyle they chose.
Right.
So it's just stuff like that where you'd think, oh, if they're short on money, they should want to work more. If there's opportunities to earn more money, they take it. Well, no, that's actually pretty rare. It's actually pretty rare to run across the person that needs money and will work for extra money.
Yeah, you would know more about that than most people, wouldn't you, Jack?
Most people that need money, they're happy if you just give it to them. But if they need money and they have to earn one extra skill, or take on a little bit more responsibility to earn the extra money, they will forego that.
Well, like you said,
they'll just stay in whatever trouble they're in.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to stay till 6 for a week. This trouble's fine,
Yeah.
I'll gladly take the cash to get out of the trouble, but if I have to get out of the trouble, well, then I'll just keep the trouble.
For a lot of people, it's so comfortable to be homeless in the United States that I don't want a job. I just want you to give me some money.
Yeah, and it is related, and that's why when I see stuff like that in the news, like the Amazon thing, for example, where the mayor of Seattle or whatever just wanted to put a $20 per employee tax on Amazon to, in quotes, solve the homeless problem. That clearly, that kind of reasoning, although, you know, it's well intentioned, has the dramatic misunderstanding that if you increase homeless benefits, you know, you're not gonna grasp people from homelessness.
You're gonna incentivize homelessness.
Some people choose that. They choose it, you know.
Yeah, that's probably
much like the employee who accepts the balancing act between the occasional employee loan and the wage that they make. You have people who find this balance between, oh, there's the clothes drive once a week and the food drive a couple times a week, and the 2 or 3 nonprofit organizations who provide a meal or two a day, plus the 5 nights or so I could sleep in a bed at the rescue mission. They look at that package and they say, I have this, or I can accept the responsibility of you know, taking a drug test and securing transportation and finding a place to live and putting down a security deposit and paying bills. And they look at it, yeah, it's too much for them, so they live outside.
I mean, I don't know. You gotta get really used to being smelly in that case.
So if you tax Amazon $20 per employee, and you build like a homeless showering center, or you know, let's say you don't do that, but you build like an educational center. You build an educational center so homeless people can go and learn job skills. That mayor would probably be shocked at how little people actually take advantage of that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It will probably
it comes
help like 15% of the homeless people, and the rest are either homeless on purpose and they're going to be like, sweet, I'll take the shower, and the rest of them are probably either mentally ill or addicted to some kind of substance.
And that's the thing. A lot of homeless people are in such bad shape that if they could probably get disability, they could probably qualify for government housing, but they just have to take those 1 or 2 steps to get it, and even that's too much.
Yes, or they just are literally not capable.
But like I don't know how it is in other places, but in Youngstown, there's this organization called Catholic Charities, and they actually assign caseworkers to the homeless residents, and it's the caseworker's job to transport the homeless people to the interviews where, like, take them to their physical, for example. Take them to a physical so they can get the you know, authorization from the doctor that they can't work, for example, or take them to the mental health clinic where they undergo the evaluation to determine if they're mentally able to work.
Okay, so there's less of really that excuse of inability.
Yeah, Youngstown, they do pretty much everything that you can do for the homeless population.
Yeah.
And if you, Jack and I
can't be that out of the ordinary for us.
Yeah, so. But I don't know what the rest of the United States looks like, but Jack and I have an inordinate amount of time with the homeless in Youngstown. Both individually, like trying to help people, and you know, and we've seen like what happens from like a political standpoint. And it's all thanks to him. Like, he's introduced me to this world. Like, he spends a lot of time trying to just help people.
That's awesome.
And it's really just it's a Sisyphean effort. to
I'm
try to
sure.
help these individuals.
I used to. I pretty much got burnt out.
Yeah, and I thought like you take, yeah, you can just take a person, and you can take a person, and we saw this, right? You know, this person who pretty much first night being homeless totally rips her pants and is gonna freeze to death overnight. Jack takes her to Walmart, buys her like winter clothes,
Wow.
and she has the nerve to like ask for like cigarettes on the way back from Walmart.
Yeah, cigarettes, alcohol. That was her focus.
Yeah, she didn't care about the
Can you
fact
buy
that
me?
she was about to have like 3 pairs of warm clothes to wear while she
She
lived
had
on the
some other
streets.
issues going
Yeah,
on for
and he
sure.
put her up in a hotel for the night, which I took advantage of because it was going to be better than where I was, like in the fucking dorms or wherever I was going to.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yes,
We were gonna leave, and we realized it was nicer than where we stayed.
It was 2 queen beds, so I'm like, I'm taking the other bed.
And like I've met a lot of people like her though, where whether it's a self-esteem thing or a mental health thing, whatever it may be, they don't want to pursue what would get them out of that situation.
Yeah.
They'd much rather panhandle so they can get enough money to buy alcohol to just be blitzed all the time, until they die.
Yeah, and as it turns out,
Right.
There's enough people with enough goodwill that you can get by being a homeless person pretty much anywhere.
I have given away so much of my shit.
Yeah, I know.
Just in the last couple
it's a little
years.
bit ridiculous how much stuff you give away.
There was this one guy I met. He had this whole plan where he's like, all I need is a canvas tent that's very wear resistant, that could handle a number of different climates, and I need this list of camping supplies. I'm an ex-military guy. I've got survival training. If you give me these supplies, I'll go down to West Virginia or something in the wilderness, and I'll be set.
No, you won't.
All right. Well, how much does all that stuff cost? Oh, well, a canvas tent is like, I don't know how much they cost. $1,500.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's say 500 to be generous.
Yeah, $1,500. And this X number of, let's say, total package of these survival supplies, $5,000. All right, well, I'll get them for you. Oh no, don't bother with that. Just give me the 5,000 and I'll take care of it.
Hell no.
Huh,
Well,
yeah.
No, you won't. No,
You won't.
well, I didn't give him 5,000, but he's like, here, give me 500 and I'll take care of it. Give him 500. Oh, did you get your tent yet? Oh no, I didn't get my tent yet. I got all this other crap first.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not what you said you were gonna do with it.
Yeah.
Well, eventually, this guy keeps taking your money and blowing it. You just ignore him, like.
Yeah.
He says he's going to buy a canvas tent and he doesn't. He buys alcohol. He's just as it turns out, he's just telling you he needs the canvas tent, so you give him the money.
Yeah.
So he buys the alcohol, and then he'll make excuses.
Yeah.
Oh, I went to the canvas tent place and it was closed.
Yeah, the most successful homeless people make up a really good story. That's how you get the most money from you, is they make up a really good story.
There was this one kid I met. He was like maybe 19, 20, maybe 22, 23. And he was pretty much homeless. And he said, I was a excellent high school baseball player, just extraordinary talent. And my coach from high school, he found me, and he wants to send me to this baseball camp, where I can demonstrate my ability and maybe get a scholarship. So he's like, I need like I need like X number of dollars for travel, and I need X number of dollars for a uniform. And he kind of did this. The first time he did something like this to me was, he's like, hey, I'm going to work at McDonald's, but they make you buy your own uniform, so I need like $50.
No, they don't. They take it out of your paycheck, you know?
Yeah. So you're right. He did kind of, you want to invest in this kid's life. Oh, he's apparently very passionate about baseball.
Yeah.
His high school coach is willing to put time and effort into his life to get him out of his situation, directing him towards his passion, which maybe if he's really that good, maybe he could be a pro. At the very least, maybe he can get a scholarship or a partial scholarship. Well, what ended up eventually, one day he actually called me from jail.
Oh.
He got arrested and he was in jail, and he called me and he wanted me to bail him out. And I'm like, well, your parents aren't trying to bail you out or something?
Yeah.
He's like, excuse XYZ. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I basically said, I'm not going to bail you out. I'll bail you out, but only if, this has kind of exceeded, my responsibility in all of this. If your dad says bail you out, I'll bail you out. So I think his dad ended up calling me, and he's like, the kid's name is Tyler. He might be dead right now for all I know. He's like, Tyler said you'll bail him out. I'm like, yeah, but I told him only if you really want me to. And he's like, no, just leave him there.
Wow.
He's like, I've bailed him out dozens of times. So that this guy, this kid, he had parents. He was from Canfield, which is kind of like a yuppie suburb in this area.
Yeah.
He had a family where he completely burned the goodwill of his family, his parents. Just imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah, your dad's just telling strangers, nah, fuck it, leave him in jail.
Where he's right. A stranger who's saying, I'll bail your son out. If you give me the word, I'll bail your son out. No, just leave my son in jail.
Yeah, you're more concerned about the stranger that you don't know than yeah. No.
So you spend a couple years just having these experiences, and I could go into even more stuff than that, but the lesson is that the people don't try to free themselves from their circumstance. In a lot of situations, they're choosing it.
Yeah.
And you can have in the case of Youngstown where you have a social worker assigned to you if you're homeless, that will get you prescriptions, that will take you to the unemployment office, that will take you to interviews, that will take you to housing interviews. You have that person that's trying to, if you don't have transportation, that's the role they're serving for you. You have these people that it's their job to get you back on your feet, and you don't get on your feet. So at that point, if you can't do it on your own, that's understandable. But now you have a person that's trying to get you back on your feet. Working tirelessly. And there would be, I'd be at work, I'd be at school, I'd be out with friends. I missed my friend's wedding reception one day, helping people out, I got there like an hour, with like an hour left. Oh, Jack's here, finally. Where were you at? Oh, I don't know. It's just me. I show up late to stuff, right? Oh, yeah. You show up late to stuff.
Yeah.
There was this one time my mom was furious. I was supposed to help my sister set up for a Halloween party, and a couple of my friends who are homeless, they got the opportunity to move into a home. So they were moving from the wilderness into a home, and they needed someone to help them. So I helped them, and I just figured, my sister can handle setting up for the Halloween party by herself. My mom was mad. She's like, "How dare you? How dare you prioritize them over your family obligation?"
Yeah,
So there's been times where
that's your mom.
miss my friend's wedding reception, getting into fights with my family. You sacrifice all this stuff to try to help people, and they don't. A lot of times they don't want to take that next step. That's kind of what informs my views on things. When I sound like some kind of white privileged white male fascist, the world has said the world doesn't have the resources to save every person.
Yeah.
The people don't. We're not only talking about financial resources here, we're talking about mental and physical resources and time.
Yeah, no. I get you.
I mean, you have an individual who's trying to take everything on. And people say, "Oh, Jack, you're not Superman. You can't save the world." I tried, and it burned me out. So what truly is the cost? You're going to kill all these well-meaning people who they're sacrificing their own time and effort and money for the sake of the distraught and the downtrodden. That's a noble effort, but it's a losing battle, and that's not cynicism. My dad used to say, "Hey, what do you think the Browns are going to do this week?" "Oh, they're probably going to lose." "Oh, quit being so negative." I'm not being negative. I'm just telling you what's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to read a lot of comic books, and I'd read the comic books and be inspired by the superheroes. Oh, if they make the right kind of sacrifices, they can save people. That's just what the world needs. Playing The Legend of Zelda, you've got this one guy who puts on hold his own life, and he could save Hyrule. I could do that, Well, no, you can't.
No.
In most cases, no, you can't. Unfortunately, that's not the conclusion I want to make. That's just the unfortunate reality of it.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, probably mid-20s, I realized, I'm a guy, reasonable intelligence, pretty good financial resources. I could use these things to help other people. The, in quotes, privilege.
Yeah.
So that's the story of it.
All right. So so you were talking about this this video, this man that kicked this woman.
Yeah, the actual event is funnier than Sargon's take on it.
Okay.
He's just kind of mad. He's just kind of mad. He's like, "This is what fucking male feminists should do." And then basically what happens is you've got this pro-life rally and these pro-choice people.
I think I found the video. We can just go ahead and watch it.
These let's call them pro-choice. Yeah, you could just watch them.
Yeah. Let's
You
check
could
it
just
out.
watch it.
But still, it's better to be. You want to kill him with kindness, remember?
That's right. What?
They actually have people filming you the whole time. That they kill with kindness.
Guess what? Hey,
Destruction of private property. Against the law.
somebody gets raped by somebody and they're like, I'm a 16-year-old and I can't have this baby. Think you should keep it?
It's a baby. If someone is raped and she gave birth and she decided to kill her 3-year-old child.
Wham! And he just kicks the shit out of her.
Well, yeah, and then notice his reaction. No, he didn't kick it. What happened was he didn't kick her phone. He kicked her, and she dropped her phone.
Oh, and he screams, "I kicked her phone."
Well, so he did this. Now we don't get the benefit of seeing the reaction. He was like in the minority. He must have been a part of the 5 to 10% of the crowd that was males.
Yeah.
So you got this guy, this male, who roundhouse kicks a female in front of 100 other females, and after he does it, he says to the other females, "I tried to kick her phone."
Tried to kick her phone.
As if that makes it any better.
I mean, maybe that's the case, but you should have tried to do that in the first place, dumbass.
Yeah.
Well, that was so random.
Yeah, just
I mean,
behave.
Well, he'd already threatened her because she references that's destruction of personal property. So he'd already threatened her with kicking her phone.
Yeah.
that was lend credence to that comment.
Yeah.
Well, then he did it. You know, yeah. So then he kicks this woman, and this is just my interpretation of the events. Who really knows? You know, if you're trying to kick someone's phone out of their hand, and you don't, and you just nail the shit out of them, if you're sincere about that, you're probably going to be in shock. And your first reaction is probably going to be like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to do that. Are you okay?"
Yeah.
No, he goes right to, "I meant to kick her phone. I meant to kick her phone."
Well, I mean, you know, a person, not to stereotype, but you know, a person that dresses the way he dresses and has those type of piercings and has his various attitudes about, not the stereotype, but you know, that's
Well,
not that. Yeah, but I'm straight up stereotype that person. You know, like if I were to walk up and look at that person, just like having known nothing about him, I would have just dismissed all his credibility as a man. Like that's a pussy right there. Like
yeah. He as it turns out, and you can watch. So actually, you might enjoy Sargon's take on it because he gets real mad, but he does like commentate. He's like, he'll pause the video and he'll be like, "Notice the form on how you kick the non-feminist female." So he says stuff like that. He's like, it's the responsibility of the feminist male to beat sense into the non-feminist female.
All right, I could see how that. I figured he would make something hilarious out of it. But
Well, this guy, he's actually been in trouble before for assaulting women.
Huh.
Yeah.
Go figure. A feminist getting in trouble for assaulting women.
He actually did get fired from his job. Probably predictably, he was a hairstylist, and one of the onlookers told the salon that he works at. They said, one of your employees just assaulted a woman. They fired him instantly. To this organization's credit, they fired him instantly.
I just go figure, with those types.
Well, if you're gonna be roundhouse kicking people,
yeah,
you kind of reap what you sow.
Yeah. I mean, he probably should have gone to well, he probably should have at least been arrested for what he did, but I'm not saying that he necessarily should have been fired for what he did.
I think well, I think the salon just tried to avoid fallout from the incident.
They're just trying to avoid controversy. Yeah, that's the smart thing to do as a business owner. Is like, oh man, like I just regardless of whether he's innocent or guilty, as an individual business owner, you have to cut ties with that person just because it's a controversial thing. However,
Yeah, I mean, you've got video, you've got a viral video.
A little bit different. So,
You've got a viral video of this individual roundhouse kicking a woman, and the salon happens to have him as an employee.
Yeah,
they got to get as far away from that as they can.
They're probably a small like mom and pop shop pretty much type business, and that they don't have time to deal with the nuclear fallout that is your employee just kicked a woman.
Right. Right.
On camera.
Yeah.
Unless like it's not even disputable. There's like anybody with eyeballs can see what happened.
and another part I'm probably spoiling this for you, but he actually records the time in which he gives the woman to respond. So he criticizes her view. He gives her this argument, and then now she's trying to respond to it. And he's like, it's 2.9 seconds before he assumes his stance. He'll show, and then it's another 1.5 seconds before he actually executes the kick. So he's like, he gave her 4 seconds to respond.
Yeah.
Before he kicked her, before he went to violence. So that part's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's one of the it's because of videos like this that I enjoy videos of guys like guys beating up, not to say that this person's like an Antifa member, but I just love when there's like big huge riots and stuff like that, and people are like you see guys waving American flags, and you see guys like all clad in black wearing masks, and everybody's just throwing fists everywhere, and the guys that don't have their faces covered are about twice the size of the scrawny individuals that are waving anarchist flags and and have like the hammer and sickle flags and all that stuff, and they're just getting leveled.
Yeah.
And it's because of videos like this that I enjoy videos like that, where it's like I'm sure that nobody involved in that situation was doing the right thing in the first place, but if somebody's gonna get hit, I'd rather it be one male who thinks he's tough getting punched by another male who's actually tough.
Oh, I would have loved to watch that guy get destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah. If there was a video out there where somebody like somebody me punched that guy in the face like that,
I would have loved to have seen it. Now this was a pro-life rally, and that guy was pro-life or pro-choice. He was a part of the pro-choice protesters that crashed it.
Yeah. So
again, it doesn't seem like there was a lot of men there. He might have been the only one. So when he levels this kick, and not to make this into a sexist thing. I know I'm sounding like a sexist. Let's say Katrina was there, former Navy member. She's got combat training. She sees a woman just get leveled with a roundhouse kick.
Yeah, if you don't know much about the Navy if you think that's a serious that's one of the funny things is like most people just think you served in the military, therefore combat blah blah blah.
At least self-defense training or something like that.
Nope. Nope, nope, nope.
That's all. I all that from civilians.
All right, let's say like I
She
wish.
was given a shotgun that she doesn't even know how to fire.
I just wish there was like a big dude there that saw that and just wrecked this guy.
Yeah.
I'm no, I'm not to say that a woman in attendance couldn't have done that, or let's say a woman. You just see this guy get mauled by a woman. I would love to see that. Like,
yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's an awful lot of, women. Like, I don't think this guy can beat up that many women. Like, I think.
I mean, I guess this is another spin I'm putting on this. You've got two groups of women involved in this rally. You've got the pro-life women who organize the event, and then you have the pro-choice women crash it. And the pro-choice women tend to be left-leaning, and oftentimes you'll hear from left-leaning women, from feminist women, I'm a feminist because I support all women.
Yeah.
Because I want to elevate women, I am a feminist. So the video I would have liked to have seen was
right.
This pro-choice activist male roundhouse kicked the pro-life female, and then the pro-choice women just wrecked this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what actually happened was the pro-choice women actually showed their hand, where they're actually okay if the victim is a pro-life supporter.
Yeah, no, they didn't do anything to him.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's exactly the whole point. That's pretty fucked up.
I wasn't fully paying attention. Sorry, I didn't realize that those other girls didn't even do anything. Like, you're showing what kind of person you are.
Yeah, where what actually happened was an extremely partisan event where the pro-choice women just were okay with the pro-life woman getting wrecked. So it's at least my viewing of it, it seems hypocritical.
Yes.
Where these alleged feminists are okay with just watching a woman get roundhouse kicked.
Or not. That's messed up. You don't hit other people for no fucking reason, especially not when you're probably a lot bigger and stronger, even though that guy didn't look super tough.
He did seem pretty scrawny.
Yeah, but he's probably still stronger than the girl he kicked. And he didn't even hit her, he fucking kicked her.
Probably, right. He kicked her.
That's crazy. That's insane. I don't care whose side you're on. You don't just stand there and let somebody do that.
I guess what I find disappointing, which I've already kind of said it, is you don't hear that guy was surrounded by women who shared his viewpoint. So you don't hear those women saying, whoa, what'd you just do?
Yeah.
Like, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
We don't roundhouse kick our opponents.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Sargon's point is no, they do. That's their tactic.
Well, I mean, it's been established that anybody that and it's certain people. It's just there are just the type of people who turn out to what amount to innocuous rallies of belief. Rallies like, hey, we believe in XYZ political opinion. People who turn out to counter those rallies have nothing better to do with it, and they just either have nothing better to do with their time, or they're so emotionally invested in something that really doesn't involve them that they can come out and just be so emotionally there that when they encounter somebody that has an opinion that is just so polarizingly different to them, the first thing that they think to do is lash out in violence. And that's there's whole groups of people out there because they just don't have an outlet for their angst or their like they don't know better what to do with themselves.
He ran out of shades of purple to put into his hair.
Yeah.
So he was just really frustrated with that.
Yeah.
So he roundhouse kicked a woman.
Yeah. And that's the I mean, that's the ultimate thing is you know, political discourse is over once you start kicking your opponents.
Right. Right. I mean,
we're not having a reasonable discussion. Like even if you think your opponent isn't open to changing their mind, the best thing you could do is just walk away. The worst thing you can do is victimize them. Like
because
you just
as
made
you pointed out,
your opponents.
as you pointed out, he came to her rally.
Yeah, he could have just stayed home. She didn't come to their rally and harass them. They came to her rally.
I mean, maybe she's gone to pro-choice rallies before, but at least on that day, he came to her rally. So he goes to her rally and ends up kicking her.
Oh, that was a pro-life rally.
Yeah, it was a pro-life rally.
It was a pro-life rally.
Okay. I mean, that doesn't still not okay either way, but
it doesn't matter who's
you would
rally.
think that like it was his rally and she just came and got disgraced and so he kicked her.
Yeah, with the air.
No. It was not a pro-choice rally and she crashed it. It was a pro-life rally and he crashed it.
Yeah.
So
That's that the whole point, and we can all agree, it's never okay.
Right.
Even if somebody, unless you're like trying to like run away from them to not be filmed or something, like unless they're harassing you, there's really no reason to just kick
I mean, not that it would be okay, but it would make a little more sense if she was a pro-life activist.
If he was like
who crashed a pro-choice rally.
Like, don't film me. He's running down the street and she's like chasing after him with a camera, and he turns around and kicks her. Like, I might be on his side about that, honestly. Like,
I mean, there's probably better ways to handle it. But at that point, you can say, all right, that's more of a self-defense.
Yeah.
No, he goes to. Now, just imagine this too. Let's say you're going to this pro-life rally with the intention of trying to sway these women to your side.
Pro-life.
Yeah, so you're going to this pro-life. You're a pro-choice activist. You go to a pro-life rally, and you do probably the worst thing you can do, which is spew your viewpoint and then attack the person before they can respond. Like, your opportunity to convince anyone is gone at that point.
Yeah.
Dummy.
Yeah, and not only for you, it's for your whole. Like, this guy is standing as the the monolith for any opposition to the pro-life cause. Like it's like anybody who's pro-life now can just point at this person.
Yeah, look at these people.
Look at these people. Yeah, that's
and they will. And that's the thing. And they will.
Yeah, and that's the worst part about it is like, he has not only ended political discourse in that individual situation, but across the board. Because anybody, like any zealot for either side, or any zealot for the pro-life side, is just going to be like, look at what our opposition thinks about women.
Yeah, look what those people are willing to stoop to.
Yeah, and that's going to be the end all, and what is the other, and that's the best tactic for the pro-lifers to do, because supposedly the pro-choice people are liberal, and it's like, yeah, they're liberal until you oppose their political viewpoints, and then they're fucking fascists. And it's like, and what do you have to say about like tolerance and democracy and all these other things when you have individuals who ascribe to your, at least you can say whatever you want, that's kind of why the right gets away with a lot of stuff, is because like everybody already paints them as fucking, you know, Nazis and fascists, and it's like, well, okay, whatever, paint us that way however you like, but like, you know, we're just making political arguments, like, you know, and if we act like Nazis, racists, or fascists, nobody's fucking surprised. But
I mean,
you're the self-righteous motherfuckers, like, and if you don't do things the right way, if you're supposed to be the morally upright party, you're supposed to be the morally upright political position, you can't do that stuff.
Yeah, you can't act like your morals, but you're only pulling stuff down.
Yeah, you can. Like, your morals don't justify the people who agree with you.
Well, this is my good
imagine the media coverage and the social media outcry if this was some kind of immigration rally.
Yeah.
And an alt-right activist showed up and roundhouse kicked one of the
minorities. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that would be just plastered on the news.
Yeah, just all over the place, for sure. I don't like to play the what ifs and what about games, though.
Oh yeah.
It's not a good game to play. What were you saying?
Oh, I guess it's not. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it's that great of an example. But several years back, there was. I don't know if it was like a KKK rally or something like this, and some people were beating up one of the KKK guys or whatever, and a black woman stepped in and covered him with her own freaking body. Because even though he's probably a giant piece of shit, he's a human being, and that's the right fucking thing to do. And
yeah, but the thing about that, so you're beating the shit out of a KKK guy, and a black woman saves him. What that has the opportunity to do then is that, you know, that guy's like, whoa, a black person just saved me. Maybe they're not so bad.
Yeah.
And maybe you can actually turn the hearts of other KKK members.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's the antithesis example. It's like, that's a person going out of their way to physically defend somebody that they may not necessarily agree with, but it's right. Like doing the right thing doesn't have a political position. Like it's that's the whole point. Is
do not and integrity.
And doing the right thing is blind to the character of the victim.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's maybe the KKK person deserves to get mauled.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that doesn't, like, getting mauled, like having somebody maul somebody is not the right way we do things in the
we've kind of
we don't just, like, mob justice is not a thing. It hasn't been a thing for like hundreds of years.
It's kind of coming back though.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem. Especially like with this whole like court of political opinion thing that we have going on. Where like just because somebody's been found not guilty doesn't mean they're not guilty in the eyes of the public or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, you can.
And it fires people up, and then it all contributes to this. It's like in Ghostbusters 2, the slime that just absorbs all the negativity.
Yeah. It's bad news.
And then your toaster tries to kill you because Egon put some slime in it. Egon, what have you been doing with that toaster? Ghostbusters 2, it gets a bad rap, but there's a lot of good lines in it.
Yeah. Oh, I got a
And you know what? Ghostbusters 2, now that I mention it, it might be a very important a very important movie for this day and age. you know, where there's just so much hostility, and there's this river of slime underneath the city, and it's just absorbing all the hostility and ill will that the individuals have towards one another, and it eventually creates this monster. But then the people take moments out of their lives and express, sincere concern for their fellow man, and it reverses the effects of the slime, and the evil's defeated.
Yeah.
They should like re-release that movie in theaters.
Well, I mean, they tried to do Ghostbusters again, and look what happened. But
They politicized it.
yeah,
And it didn't do it. It flopped, and it didn't. It like there's. I have a friend who, I'm pretty sure a rift started in our relationship because she was keep in mind, I don't think she's seen this movie. I don't think she's seen the Ghostbusters re-release. But she was just really, really defending it. And as a kid, I grew up a Ghostbusters fan. I'm older than you, and when I was a kid, it was before the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Ghostbusters were the big thing. So I wanted to be a Ghostbuster. I love the movies. I love the show. It's a part of my makeup, who I am today. The Ghostbusters in the 80s and 90s had something to do with it. Fast forward, now I'm one of those crotchety guys who, oh man, they're remaking the Ghostbusters, and they're gender swapping everyone. And
Did they have Zool in the remake?
There's an end credit scene where they reference Zool.
Oh.
But because of the financial, now, not to get off subject here, it's not a bad movie. It's a bad movie, but it's watchable. The special effects are really good. Some of the humor, some of the jokes are funny. The one Ghostbuster, she's on Saturday Night Live.
Do I want to save money? Oh. Is this a trick question?
She's really good in the movie. There's some good qualities about it, but when by putting the Ghostbuster label on it, you're now drawing in comparison to what many believe to be one of the greatest comedy movies of all time. The original Ghostbusters is highly ranked in terms of that genre. So you're kind of disadvantaging the film from the start by putting the Ghostbusters label on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then you're introducing controversy. You're not really giving it an opportunity to be successful. So, my friend, well, she was kind of like, being sarcastic about people who were upset that the characters got gender swapped. And I'm trying to have a rational discussion with her about, the emotional connection people have to this property, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And she's completely not even taking that into consideration. I don't care what's happening to the psyche of these people who grew up loving this stuff. This is what progress looks like, which is fine. It's a viewpoint. You know what I mean? But you can't even say to her, listen, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, these are comedy legends. You're gonna take this ragtag group of women and actually expect that they're gonna have the on-screen chemistry and comedy chops to Bill Murray. He's a god, and he's not even dead yet. There's things about, he hasn't done anything in years, but people write tales of Bill Murray about the one time he crashed their friend's wedding. Or, he walked into a bar and he started serving drinks and he didn't even work there. And no matter what anyone ordered, he gave them whiskey. You have this guy who has evolved into a living legend, literally. And you're gonna put these women in a position and competing with him while he's still alive. You could have just tried to do a remake, put 4 guys in that position.
Yeah, it would have been just as bad of a decision.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to explain this to her.
Honestly.
I'm trying to explain this to her. I'm like, you can't, it
Yeah.
sucks because it's not Bill Murray, and people are going to view it that way. Oh, get over it, you sexist. I'm just trying to be objective. I'm compiling an argument as to why this one isn't going to be. You know what I mean? Like,
no, yeah.
I'm
if I haven't met some of these people that you're talking about, it would sound like these guys are freaking cartoon characters.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that film began a decline of a friendship. You know what I mean? Like, and now, if I could keep remain friends with her and the Ghostbusters franchise gets snuffed out of existence, I would pay that cost, but the damage is already done. You know what I mean? Because there's just some people in the country where you can't even prefer the original Ghostbusters anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
and I do still think that's a fringe, like.
But here's the thing, and this is kind of like the lesson of it is I don't like it as much as the original, but I went to see it, and you know who didn't? All these people that are bashing the critics.
All these people who thought it was like, oh, it was such a great thing that they like blah 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 and feminism. Yeah, they didn't go. Yeah, and it's the same thing that happened with Marvel Comics like back 3 or 4 years ago. Whenever they made the female Iron Man and they made Jane Foster Thor, which actually was a great story, but nobody fucking nobody fucking wanted it. Nobody wants your like. Women are heroes to bullshit where you just like shoehorn in females into roles that males have classically fulfilled. Write a good fucking female character. You're capable of it. There's plenty of them. But don't try to take away stuff. Don't try to take. Well, they did this a long time ago, but don't try to make Peter Parker black. Don't try to make Iron Man a black woman. Like, right? Well, I mean, I guess if you want to read, if you want to do that, good luck selling comics if you're doing that. I mean,
I mean, not only, I was sitting at my computer watching the trailer for this movie, and I was thinking to myself, boy, this looks like a pile. Yeah. But I'm like, you know what, Jack? Give it a shot. So I go out and see it, and it wasn't the worst thing ever. But I watched this film, and I'm like, you know what? My mom would love this movie. I don't think it's as good as the original, but my mom would love this movie. So not only did I watch it once in theaters, I watched it twice in theaters.
With your mom.
This might have been when this whole identity war started to break. This was early 2016, where, if you hold a certain identity, that ascribes virtue to you. If you have this identity, it ascribes evil to you. This was right around the time this really started to break at the mainstream level, where you had this loud reaction to critics from what we would call the SJW left, harshly criticizing male fans of the original movies. Yeah. So at that point in history, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to buy into all this stuff. I'm just going to watch the film and judge it based on its merits. And I didn't like it that much, but I'm like, this is the perfect movie for my mom. She loves empowered women and she loves comedies. So I said, hey, Mom, there's this really great movie that I think you'd like. Let's go see it. And we did. And she loved it. And it is her opinion to this day that it's better than the originals.
Huh. Well, that just figures.
You know who, and you already mentioned it, You know who didn't see this movie? The SJW left that was bashing the males that didn't see the movie either.
Oh, yeah, that goes back to the point that I was trying to make about the Marvel comics, where they rebranded Iron Man as a black female, and they rebranded it you know who bought the comics is the same people who are always buying comics, and you know who didn't
Right.
buy the comics, like the group that they were trying to appeal to in the first place whenever they made these comics. Yeah, they like none of the black females went out and bought the black female Iron Man. The same people who always bought Iron Man comics were the ones still buying Iron Man comics, and they were the ones coming back and bitching about how much it sucked at the end of the day. Because instead of focusing on like Iron Man fights an opponent who figures out how to beat his like how to exploit another weakness of his or whatever.
Yeah.
It's black female has black female who happens to be Iron Man has black female troubles, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, quite frankly, white males don't want to read about black female troubles. And you know what? Marvel put out a black female troubles comic, and black females didn't read about it. So the fuck do you want? Like Marvel has to make things for people who read what they want to make. And it turns out that's a bunch of middle to low class, middle-aged white males.
Men, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry that most of the superheroes reflect the majority of people who pour fucking endless amounts of money into
And time.
like if you want more representation in superheroes, you're gonna have to start buying comics. That's just like what's like. And Marvel tried. They tried to give you what you asked for, Social Justice Warriors, and you didn't buy the fucking comics. You didn't buy it. So now what?
Yeah.
Now what? You didn't buy the comics that you asked for. So
I really haven't kept up on. I really haven't kept up on it. I've been actually thinking about getting Marvel Unlimited, where it's $10 a month, and it's basically you can read, you can stream their comic library.
Yeah. I did that for a while.
I've been thinking about doing that, but I really haven't. I mean, I'm aware of like the big things that happen. You know, Jane Foster Thor. I think her name is Rhea something, and she doesn't go by Iron Man. She goes by Ironheart.
Oh yeah. The black.
The biggest problem I have with her is, it's fine. You have a black female who is a mechanical electrical prodigy who makes her own Iron Man suit. Yeah, that's fine. That's awful derivative, by the way, but fine.
Right.
On top of that, Tony Stark was he was an industrialist who, if you go to with the plot of the 2008 film, got kidnapped by terrorists and had to cobble together, using his education and skill, he cobbled together this combat suit to get him out of the situation.
Yeah.
But narratively, he had the credentials to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas Ironheart's story is she's just a really gifted 15-year-old girl.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's
like, it's not even believable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think she's a 15-year-old girl who breaks into MIT and uses their tech to make an Iron Man suit.
Yeah, like that. Oh yeah, I knocked that over. Sorry. There's a thing.
So what kind of rubs me the wrong way about her is it's not good storytelling. She just has this plot intellect where, oh, it's fine, a 15-year-old girl can solder together an Iron Man suit. It's fine. Just deal with it.
Yeah, I never gave a shit about Iron Man in the first place, so when they replaced Iron Man, it was just whatever to me.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Stark, he's just a really talented electrical engineer who developed the Iron Man suit, you know? And is one of the, over time, he's considered to be one of the smartest guys in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
So what kind of rubs me the wrong way about a character like now, and keep in mind, Tony Stark, he's been a character from the 60s. So from 1963-ish until 2018, that's 60 years of history that his lore is built. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who he is a result of 60 years of storytelling. Now you create this new character to fill his role.
Yeah.
And you just make her overpowered right off the bat. You know what I mean? Like right off the bat.
Totally, you were
No.
right away.
Yeah, like not only does she have the capability to be, and I've kind of mentioned this before, especially about Star Wars. I don't understand. Like, I can understand we want to get other groups more engaged in comics, so we're going to make characters more relatable to them. That I can understand. What I don't understand is why you have to diminish the original character in the process.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's just it's not good enough to replace Tony Stark with a black young female. You have to make her so much better than Tony Stark that Tony Stark himself is just an embarrassment. Like, he's just got to be ashamed at his accomplishments because this 15-year-old girl is just so much better than what he was.
That's what
That's you
social
can't.
justice is about, Jack. It's not about creating something of their own. It's about dismantling what you love and making it theirs. It's like the fucking board. Like they don't make anything new. They take what you have
Shall be
and they just assimilate it unto themselves, and they make it better according to their point of view. And you know, like, and like you pointed out with the new Iron Man story, it's not a better Iron Man. You didn't make a better Iron Man. You could have just like gender and race swapped the old Iron Man and told the same story, and it would still have been a great story to people who enjoyed that shit. I never enjoyed the Iron Man story, but you know, to people who enjoyed it, it could have been a black female who, you know, like maybe even she wasn't rich, and she, you know, she worked her way up and she like got scholarships and stuff like that, and she invented this crazy stuff, and you know, like, it could have been a great fucking story, but
and a relatable story. But this character that they created isn't relatable to anyone. You know what I mean? Like, this is like a Kryptonian, you know, who came to our planet and absorbed the energy from our sun, and it's just freaking Superman. You know?
Yeah.
So you haven't even created a character that black youth can relate to and be inspired by. It's just, oh, she was privileged with extraordinary intelligence, you know, which is something you don't have, reader, by the way.
Yeah.
You can't even be her because she's just so OP smart.
Yeah. Well, as it turns out, you don't have to be black or white to enjoy comic book superheroes. You just have to be a nerd. And
right.
Yeah, and nerddom is not race exclusionary statistically. So yeah.
I just wish these people would actually try to learn about the culture before they start bashing it.
Yeah.
I went to Star Wars Celebration in 2007, and probably a solid half of the attendees were females. Like, this was a diverse group in terms of gender, race, nationality, etc. You know, you could have like a UN summit there. But instead they create this division. We're stealing Iron Man from you. We're disgracing Tony Stark, and you just have to deal with, you know, Rhea Johnson now. But like, as we've already well established, I know who Rhea Johnson is, and they don't. You know, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I just want to. I don't think I've watched this video, at least with the sound on. I want to share this video with you. Not for the points that are being made, but for the way the points are being made, and so, you know, just like kind of a. It's just another cherry picked moment of you know, how certain individuals view their political opponents. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this. I don't know if you know who Candace Owens is.
no.
Oh well, she's known as Red Pill Black on YouTube.
Uh-oh.
History where white privilege did exist.
Anyway,
Was there ever a point in history where white privilege did exist?
Yeah, I suppose when we lived in a country where if you were black, you were not allowed to go into certain places.
When did it end?
When it stopped being systemic, when there stopped being laws in place that stopped me as a black person doing what you're able to do as a white man. If you ask me whether or not I believe in economic privilege, I would tell you yes. If you ask me whether or not I think that somebody born into a family of billionaires will be afforded more privileges in life than somebody that is born in the projects of Chicago, I would say yes, because economic privilege in this country does exist. But there is no law in place that is stopping a person because of the color of their skin from gaining that economic privilege, which is why I do not believe that white privilege based on the color of your skin exists. If you're asking me, do I think the black community has been crippled economically, the answer would be yes. It has been crippled economically by Democrat policies. You just heard
Who
me say
cares
that
who does
in
it?
I
Democrats
care.
are Americans. Democrats are Americans. So therefore, you just admitted that there has been disadvantage by two black people by Democrats who are Americans. You just admitted it.
It is not based off. You asked me if white privilege exists. The answer is white privilege. Because you're born white, that means you're going to not have this or that. It does not exist. No. This is what I love about white privilege, right? Like, they know it's so important for them to sell us our oppression that they'll come up and tell us we're a disgrace.
Can you speak for all black people? Can you speak for all
Well, why don't you stop speaking for black people? That would be great. Why don't you let him, who's shaking his head and rolling your eyes, speak about him, his experience with black
We can
men?
have a conversation.
No, because you're sitting here telling me, and I'm telling you the answer is economic privilege exists. You're saying why is it disproportionately affect black? Because we're disproportionately voting for Democrats and it's stupid.
Oh. I like her.
yeah, she's pretty funny.
I like her.
Yeah, she's pretty funny.
Wow, there's just a lot going on with that video.
Yeah, there is a lot, and she obviously has nuanced opinions about the whole white privilege conversation. But I just like the fact that there's a white dude yelling at a black woman,
right?
And then this white guy obviously has this ideological viewpoint about, like, obviously, white male Americans have oppressed, black Americans, and so, obviously, like this and that, like he's so,
just talking down to her.
Yeah, he's just yelling and screaming at her to try, it's like
there's not a whole lot of difference between him and the guy who roundhouse kicked the woman.
There's not a whole lot of difference between those. It's like, it's almost like he's sitting there shouting, "Nigger, sit down, you're oppressed, and let me tell you how badly you're oppressed." Like, that's what he's doing. Like, he's like,
yeah.
It's yeah.
Well,
it's so stupid.
we've seen a little bit. We've seen a lot of it recently, but the tactic is, oh, you have a black person expressing a moderate view. They are a traitor.
Yeah.
At this point,
Yeah.
they're a
Yeah,
traitor
I
at
like
this
how-
point.
Yeah. Like Snoop Dogg is calling Kanye West and Uncle Tom at this point.
Yeah, Kanye West just can't have an opinion. He's a traitor to all black
Yeah,
people.
he's just a traitor to black people for his opinion.
Now,
Well,
now,
yeah, that's true, but that doesn't mean he's a race traitor because of it.
but I guess, my observation of this is that seems pretty bad to me. If you just expect everyone that looks like you to have the same viewpoint that you do.
Yeah, that's just definition racism for sure.
If you look like this, then you must accept what I'm about to say to you.
Yeah.
In this video, I don't look like you, but I've drank the Kool-Aid of this is what people that look like you should think.
Yeah.
And you don't think this way, so you're clearly mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna bludgeon you with my white privilege, black woman.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna
to show you that it exists.
Yeah, do I have to beat your oppression into you? Like, do you not
right? Do I have to roundhouse kick the phone out of your hand?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
You guys should try making some of these from an opposing point of view.
Yeah,
Might be interesting.
maybe. Well,
and you've like, not to get into that discussion, but you've seen that happen to a lot of black people who have, had similar viewpoints that she has, and they just get like basically hazed by their peers. Oh, I'm a black person, I don't believe in white privilege. Well, get out of here. They get like shunned. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's the slime. It's just like, this is probably a bad example, but
hold on. What do you mean? What do you mean, like, make it from the?
It was just like a general thing. Like, you should try to argue it from not what your point of view already is. And it's easy to look at these, like some of these films, like, okay, there's that guy was screaming over that girl. He didn't want to hear her answer.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. No, we're definitely cherry picking incidents, but
But you see that a lot. I mean, we've already watched 2 videos of that happening, where
I don't think it happens more on one side than the other, honestly.
Well, I guess.
No, I agree with you, Katrina. We just live in a world now where if you look a certain way, there's the expectation that you have certain viewpoints. If you're black, you're a victim. If you're a woman, you're a victim. If you're white, you're privileged. In this world that we live in, you cannot be an underprivileged white person. You cannot be a successful black person. Those things don't fit the model. They don't fit the arguments, So when a white male discovers a black female that doesn't believe in white privilege, well, then she must, in his worldview, she must not even be black. Because how could a black person not believe in white privilege?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really trying to make any type of point. I was just thinking, like, as for something different. Because if you're
well, what was the context of that video? Why was this man screaming at her? I mean, they both had microphones.
Yeah, well, the context of the video, it was kind of a Q&A session with Candace Owens, and this individual came up and asked the questions that, you know, thinking that he could trap her. He asked the question of, "Do you believe in white privilege?" And rather than going with a a yes or no answer, Candace Owens went with a very nuanced answer where she explained where the majority of privilege comes from, and and
Right.
kind of pointed the finger at the real boogeyman, and the guy
She was
asked,
actually drafting an argument.
yeah,
She was
yeah.
actually creating an intellectual argument.
Yeah, and rather than listening to the points that she was making, he latched on to something that she said, and started stringing race back along into the argument.
But how can you call a black person racist?
Well,
It's
he
the-
wasn't,
it's
he
not-
wasn't saying that. What he was saying was it was definitely white people's fault. Or what he was saying is it is currently definitely white people's fault that black people aren't doing as well. That's what he was trying to imply.
So white people are still working towards the demise of black people.
Basically,
No.
that's what he was trying to imply.
I'll say no.
And what Candace Owens was trying to say was that it doesn't have an awful lot to do with race as much as it does with economic
Yeah,
stuff.
that's the reason viewpoint.
She tried to go on to make the point that blacks had been historically disadvantaged, and so they start off on more like on lower ground in general. But as it stands now in the United States, the point that she was trying to make, as it stands now, there's no laws that are sat around
Yeah.
holding black people back. And
Yeah.
that was the point that she was trying to make, and he was trying to go ahead and bypass that point and say, so obviously black people are oppressed by white people, especially given the historical precedent. And and it wasn't like I'm not exactly sure. I don't necessarily care what point he was trying to make. The fact of it was he was sat there screaming at her so, despite whatever points you're trying to make, you're still oppressed. Like blah 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 blah. Like he just and she just totally got him with the whole white liberals love to try to convince black people that we're oppressed. Like
that's probably the most pretentious group in the country right now.
Oh, who was it? What was it? I think it was Malcolm X or something like that. It was somebody in the 70s who said that the death of black people would be like white liberals or something like that.
Huh.
Just like the people who pretend to be on the side of equality just to I can't. You don't disregard. I don't know the quote. I don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry.
Well, yeah, that guy should just focus more on his true hobby, which seems to be looking as much like Owen Wilson as humanly possible.
Well, he should focus less on the hobby of yelling at women. Especially if he thinks of himself as a feminist, he should probably focus less on the hobby of yelling at women. That's one of the other things. Like, I don't necessarily care what the real definition of feminism is.
I think the meaning's been lost.
Yeah, it really has been lost. But if you're a man and you're sat there yelling at a woman, I think you just lose the argument, regardless of how morally right or wrong you are about it. And that's
Yeah.
yeah, like that's quite a patriarchal view of that situation. But I think that's the appropriate view to take on the situation. What do you think?
I've been watching something. I have no idea.
Oh,
Sorry.
Well, what I was saying was, I think that no matter what your opinion on feminism is, I think if you're sat there thinking as a man thinking it's okay to yell at a woman, then you've pretty much lost the argument at that point.
What argument?
Well, if say there's an argument, like say there's a political discussion going on and you're a man and you think it's appropriate to start yelling at a woman, you've pretty much at that point lost the argument.
Yeah.
Well, just I guess yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, why? Right?
I also am not sure that I don't think I have enough context. They're just having an argument. And
Well, I would similar to the first video we watched.
You're having an argument about feminism.
And what's
right?
the guy's perspective?
Well, the guy's perspective is feminists should believe this. Right? So you're a man who thinks that feminists should believe X, Y, Z.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
you're
right.
not there yelling at a woman who thinks that feminism should mean, women, like blah, blah, blah. But basically, like if you're in a public argument and you're saying feminism means this, and a woman is sat there saying feminism means something else, you've basically lost the argument because you're yelling at a woman about what feminism is. That's basically
It's very similar to.
Is if you as a man are in a discussion with a woman about what feminism means, and you're trying to yell at a woman to try to tell her what feminism is about, I think you've lost. At some point you've lost the argument, and you need to come back and reformulate your.
But why?
Because you've become the reason for feminism at that point.
Yeah,
because you're raising your voice at somebody.
Well, because
feminism is about equality, not.
Well, he was trying to mansplain to her.
Yeah, I'm trying to listen, woman. I'm trying to explain to you what feminism is all about. If you would just listen to me, you would understand why your version of feminism is wrong.
Yeah, that's kind of what I take from it.
I mean, in a logical sense, I don't think that means he's wrong. I think that just means he has a different opinion about what feminism is. I mean, what maybe?
Feminism is like Christianity. This is my viewpoint. I'm no expert by any means, believe me. But it's my observation. Feminism is a lot like Christianity in that there's 700 sects of it.
Oh yeah, man.
So you're not really being fair to someone if you call them a feminist because you don't know what kind of feminist they are.
That's true. That's true. And I don't think that men have any less right to say what they believe feminism is than women. It's just I don't think
I agree with you 100%. Feminism is an ideology that can be studied, and anyone can learn what it is. That's my view. I don't think being male doesn't mean you can't be a feminist, or at least understand what it is.
No, I don't think so either.
You can read about Islam and know about Islam. You can read about Christianity, know about Christianity. You can read about economics and know about economics. Feminism is just the same way.
Yeah, I feel like right now the Westboro Baptist Church people of the feminists are getting so much, media time that most people think of feminism and they, think of the equivalent of like the Westboro Baptist Church of Christians. You know what I mean? I didn't word that.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I think the reason for that though is because that version of feminism has infiltrated popular culture.
Right. Emma
Yeah,
Watson.
more so than like the Westboro Baptist Church has it. Yes, I agree.
Right. Yeah. So Westboro Baptist people, they're considered the fringe. And maybe in quotes, I say this as a joke, the feminazis, they're a fringe as well, but they've actually they're infiltrating popular culture.
I agree.
It's in movies, it's on TV, it's in commercials,
I feel
like that.
I'm a feminist, but I'm not. So don't give me less,
Right.
consideration for shit. But I'm also a masculinist. Like, also don't be a dick to dudes just because they have a penis. Like,
Well,
everybody.
I think I have a friend, and he's a Democrat and he's a liberal. But he does not he's a male, and he does not consider himself to be a feminist. He's got a girlfriend who's a very intense feminist. And he was at Target last weekend, and he ran into another friend of mine who is also a feminist, and she was with her girlfriend who is also a feminist, and they were scolding him because they don't consider he doesn't call himself a feminist. So he says, well, I'm not a feminist, I'm a humanist. I believe in equality for everyone.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we're feminists because we believe in equality too. And he's like, well, if you believe in equality, then why do you have to, define why do you have to create a unique term for a term that already exists? So he's getting bludgeoned because he doesn't call himself a feminist, even though he believes in equality.
Yeah, that's not very fair. I mean, I can't say I agree with one party more than the other because I can see both of their perspectives. There's a lot of misconceptions, I guess, or things attributed to feminism.
But this is where the different sects of feminism come out. You know what I mean? Where you have let's make a straw man here. You have you take a moderate, just for it's not going to be bad. I just use the term straw man. I'm just creating something for discussion.
Okay.
You have a moderate female who calls herself a feminist because she believes in equality. She believes all genders should be treated equally and have equal rights. That's one sect. And some people may, lots of moderate people might adopt that version of it. But then you have another person who believes in equality, like my friend, for example, who believes in equality but doesn't call himself a feminist.
Right.
Or me, for example, I don't believe a male can be a feminist. To paraphrase a female scholar who is also a feminist, the term feminism was drafted because of the females historically being subjugated. Feminism is called feminism because it's uniquely feminine, and it's a movement from the female perspective. So it requires, in order to fully be a feminist, you need the female perspective. I'm not saying that's 100. I'm not saying everyone needs to believe it. I'm just saying that's my viewpoint, and that's the viewpoint of my friend. So you take people like my friend or myself, we now encounter a feminist who says, you must be a feminist. And I say, I cannot be one. Well, why not? Because I'm not a woman. You know, if you say, like, let's take an issue,
You know, maybe
like some people say, you know, the workplace is discriminatory because there are moments during the month where females are dealing with something physically that reduce their productivity. So some people say females should be given additional vacation time or additional sick days because there's a unique condition about being a woman that limits their ability to work.
That's a poor.
This is just an example. So a feminist is saying women.
I'm sure people have made that argument.
Well, they do to this day. So a feminist is saying women need more vacation time because of this. Well, that's something I can't even relate to. You know what I mean?
Well,
so I might be sympathetic towards it, but I can't say, oh yeah, it's tough being a woman. You know, women need more vacation time because it's so tough. I have no idea. I've never gone through that. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean,
I don't have a female body.
You on that, but I can appreciate. I can see what you're saying. Yeah.
So that's kind of my perspective. If a woman says, you know, there's reasons X, Y, and Z that make it difficult to have equal opportunity as a woman, I can't relate to it because I don't have the female body.
What about
so even though I may sympathize with policies and legislation to fix that, I can't you know, be fully on board with it because I don't know what they're talking about. You know what I mean?
Well,
so that's just an explanation why some people who believe in equality don't call themselves feminists.
I absolutely understand why people don't want to call themselves feminists.
Well, I mean, that's one reason. Another reason is you got the feminazis who are like, kill all men.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa, we don't want to be. It's like, you know, I don't tell everyone. If someone says, hey, you want this ice cream that we're serving to everyone? Oh, no, I don't. Oh, why not? I don't eat animal products. Oh, so you're a vegan. I don't describe myself to people that way because it has a negative connotation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To some people, feminism has a negative connotation, so they don't call themselves feminists.
Well, that's why I don't go around telling people I'm a feminist. I mean, I think I am because I am a humanist. Just by default, I am what I think feminists should be or feminism should be about. But I don't go around calling myself a feminist because there's so much negativity attached to it. It's in some cases anti-male or anti-masculine. And I don't think there's anything wrong with masculinity.
You don't want to, if you don't want to bias someone against you.
I'm gonna jump in here, Jack. I'm gonna jump in here for a second. Because I couldn't get a word in edgewise.
I didn't know you were trying. Should have raised your hand.
I'm fucking trying to get a word in. This is a good point.
Sorry.
I wanted to get a fucking word in. To be fair, this is a good point. That had you said that in front of Mark Ruffalo, the person who plays the Hulk. Yeah. If you had said that in front of him, he would have said, you're the type of person who worked against women's equality throughout like all of
you are ruining my celebrity crush, so no more talking.
If you think Mark Ruffalo is a celebrity crush, research some of the things that
I don't want to because
he is the biggest male feminist I've ever liked to me. Like, just go look at his Twitter. He's the type of person who apologizes for the fact that he like for manspreading, he is the type of person who like.
You should apologize for manspreading if you're up in my area.
Yeah, but this is the direct quote from Mark Ruffalo: "Is if you don't identify as a feminist, you are undoing a century's worth of activism for female
I would
rights."
happily sit down
That's what he.
with Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, I'm sure you would, but his public opinion is he thinks that if you don't identify as a feminist, you might as well be anti-women voting. That's his
so
his
your
public.
whole point right now is to ruin my celebrity crush.
All I wanted to do was jump in the middle of your conversation.
To ruin my celebrity crush.
And say Mark Ruffalo is annoying.
That's
well, I mean, I think we'd all be better served if actors these days just focused on what their occupation actually is.
Maybe a little more.
I mean, and here's the thing. Here's the thing about a celebrity. They're so far removed from the travails of the common person.
Yeah.
That they just have these outrageous viewpoints.
Yeah, then you get like Gwyneth Paltrow and shit, or like
whoever
planet.
Right? Yeah. John Travolta. Mark Ruffalo. Like they achieve like wealth and ego. They actually believe that because they're an actor, they have some kind of unique status where they need to educate the masses.
Well,
you're just a guy. You're just a guy that has a symmetrical face that can memorize lines. You know.
I will say that I can appreciate the idea that if you've got a platform and that you should use it. I appreciate that some people may think that.
Yeah.
But I also kind of agree with you that no actor knows more or less about anything else than, sorry, but if you don't have a degree in that shit, or you don't actually research it, your opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there's got like actors, who use their status to try to do good things. That's fine, but to try to educate the masses on something. But viewpoints, there's a lot to them. And as we've been discussing, not everyone's the same. They don't have the same experiences, education, etc. Today's world is just so you have to shoehorn if you identify as one thing or partially identify as one thing. You got to shoehorn yourself into these set of beliefs that it doesn't fit everyone,
Yep.
Yeah, it does happen sometimes.
And this is kind of getting off the subject, but I was watching one political commentator say that we need to get back to. It used to be said of the politics in the 90s that the mainstream candidates had to appeal to the moderate. So Democrats didn't become too liberal. Republicans didn't become too conservative, because if they wanted to win elections,
we need to get back to a situation where everybody appeals to the moderates.
John.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's actually going to happen, though, because the Republicans and Democrats have strategized. They need to attract the extremes in order to win elections now. So the moderate has to make a decision on which side is less awful. And as long as we continue, I mean, this is getting way off the subject. As long as we continue to elect Democrats and Republicans, it's not going to get any better.
Yeah, that's probably.
That's way off the subject, but it's kind of related.
No, yeah, it is. I'd like to change the subject entirely, though.
Contest of Champions. No, just
yeah. Well, yeah. Let's talk about the contest.
there's not really a lot to say about it, you know.
Yeah, I suppose not.
Nebula, she's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I was using her in the arena. I was playing the 3 and 4 star arena, and I have her. She's rank 3. She's a 4-star rank 3. She's unawakened, and oh, good night, Katrina.
I'm not going to bed. I'm just getting tea.
Oh, okay. She was unawakened, and I was fighting an awakened archangel. I fought him twice, and his level was like 6,000. Whatever person had this particular archangel, they had the masteries. He was like 6,000, and she was like 2,500 ish in her current state. And I one of them I took down. I hit him like twice. Just because with her ability to inflict the shock,
yeah,
just took him right down. And if is her name Primaris Midnight?
Proxima Midnight.
Proxima Midnight. She has a unique mastery with Nebula, where she starts a fight with 10 shock tokens.
Yeah.
So you start the fight with 10 shock tokens. All you have to do to pass them on is parry. So you parry. Now that your opponent has 10 shock debuffs.
Wait, so do you have a 3-star Proxima Midnight? Or 4
I do.
Star? Oh, okay.
I do. I have 4-star.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
So even if I had a 3-star in that arena, I could put them together and get that synergy.
Yeah, no.
But even if you don't have it, all you have to do is hold block for 0.5 seconds and you get that shock token.
Yeah.
And then you just parry, and now they're suffering and then you stack them. So you can also inflict 2 by a heavy attack. So I'm fighting this archangel. I parry once.
Yeah, you parry it, and then you hit him with a heavy attack, and now they got 3 shock stacks on him. Okay.
No, and if you have the Proxima Midnight synergy, I parry once, I heavy attack once, and I've got 12 shock debuffs on this archangel, and he's dead in 20 seconds.
Wow. Wow. That's pretty good.
And so if you can manage her well, her special 2 drains power proportional to the shock debuffs inflicted on the opponent. So if you're really good, you could dodge and store up shock opponents, parry an attack, hit them with the special 2, and drain their power.
Yeah.
So she's really powerful. I wish I would have got her sooner, because when I first, and this was obviously a mistake, but when I first started playing again, I had a couple tier 2 basic catalysts, and I had the materials to rank up a tech guy to 440. And at the time, I only had Iron Man and Iron Patriot, which is probably 2 of the worst tech guys out there. And I'm like, oh, my roster needs diversity. I need a 440 tech, so I picked Iron Man. And then I got Nebula, and that's really turning out to be a terrible mistake.
Ouch. Yeah, I know how that feels. I have Iron Man as a 440, and I recently duped him a long time ago, and that's why I picked him in the first place. But I recently duped him again, so I got Mastery 40 on him, and he's just a garbage character to. Well, I'll tell you what, he's a really good character to have if you have a ton of 20% revives.
Okay.
and you want to run the story, you can
Yeah,
just,
because
like,
he's once per fight. He can do that.
yeah, you take, like, you block two punches, and then he regenerates all of his health, and then it's like, so he is useful in that way. He's the choice.
Yeah, yeah. Some characters are good for the story, but they're worthless for anything else.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely. I'd rather have Nebula or whatever. Like, that's what I'm going with. If I get, which I think it's likely, given the course of events, I think it's likely that I'm gonna end up with Tech as my first 550. I'm gonna go
Wow.
with I'm gonna go with Vision for that, and I'm gonna try to fully complete Act 4 as fast as I can, so that I can
Just beat it or 100% complete it.
100% complete. Yeah, I've beaten it already. I need 100% complete it, so that I can awaken Vision, so that he can be super useful.
I watched a guy on YouTube. He beat the Maestro with a unduped, unawakened 3-star. He just put together a roster of doofus champions, unawakened 3-stars, and he beat the Maestro.
Well, I'm sure he's a great player.
I
I don't
don't
know.
even think there were synergies.
I mean, I'm sure he's great at the game. I'm sure he can dodge every attack, and he can hit, every block and all that stuff. Like, sometimes I wake up in the morning, and I just get frustrated with the fact that I can't block a goddamn attack.
No, I would describe you as good at the game.
I think so.
You're better than I am when it comes to playing the game. You're better at it.
Yeah, there are just some people who are just great at playing the game. That's the way.
But you have these people on YouTube that are just, oh yeah, I'm gonna beat this Maestro with a 2-star team.
Yeah, and they don't give a shit. They're just like, oh yeah, if you just, like, literally dodge everything, and yeah, it's no problem. Yeah, all you have to do is understand exactly how the Maestro works and dodge everything that he
Yeah,
throws.
that's all you have to do.
Yeah, it's not that requires an awful lot of effort and energy and fucking focus. Like, yeah, like, those are the same type of people who, like, if you have an Xbox 360, they're the ones that'll, like, 0 to death you on Mortal Kombat. Like, or, like, whatever game you play. Like, like, there's a reason that that online video games have tier lists, and if you play online long enough, you get filtered into a tier list, so that you get stuck with people who are, like, on your skill level. Because there are some people who, if you just get stuck with them in an online game, they're just like, yeah, my reaction time is literally twice as fast as you. I can kill you twice before you can even
Well,
blink.
they study the game.
Yeah.
I just suck at fighting games. For whatever reason, like games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, I suck at them. I just suck. When you got to start half circling the pad and you got there's air counters, there's ground counters.
Yeah.
I just suck. I'm a gamer, but I suck at fighting games. I like this game because it's not really a fighting game. It's more of an RPG.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. Yeah, it's the grind. I love the grind.
But when you combine the expertise of an RPG game with the fighting game skill set, you can do things like beat the Maestro with the 3-star.
Yeah.
I haven't even got to him yet, so I don't know how hard he is or not.
So there's actually, it's kind of fun. I don't know if I can look at it right now. Where are you? Like, yeah, I like a while ago, I decided I wanted to go ahead and beat the maestro, but there's some quests along the line that are kind of fun. So chapter 3, I don't think you probably haven't beaten it yet. The final boss.
I think I beat chapter 3
Oh, did you?
in the main story.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
let me see. I'm launching the game now. I'm
4,
on Act 4.
Act 4, chapter. What are you on? Act 4, chapter what?
I'm launching the game.
Okay.
Let's see. I am on chapter 3. I'm on chapter 3, and I've got the 6th board left to clear before I complete chapter 3.
So you're on Stand Resolute.
Yeah, Venom. Yeah.
Oh, you can just walk right up to Venom and fight him, right?
No, I haven't tried it yet.
Oh yeah, you can totally just. It's hilarious actually. You can just, rather than going around any other path, you can take your best team in, walk right up to Venom and fight him. That's what I did my first time through. Only
Just to finish it.
Yeah, he's only 1,300. Or no, it's 13,000. But yeah, he's only 13,000. Like, you can, like, if your guys have not suffered any damage, you can just run your guys through that. Oh, it might have been easier before the Venom buff they just did. They just, I don't know if you know this, but they recently buffed Venom and Carnage before they came out with this monthly event.
Okay.
Yeah, so it might have been a lot easier before. So it could be harder now.
Oh man.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking at my Act 4 Chapter 3, and on Mission 6, I have literally 1% of that completed because all I did was go right to Venom and kick his ass. Yeah, I was like, I can't believe they're gonna let me do this. So I just went and did it.
That's funny.
So did you play that quest where if you go past a certain node, if like you can have Spider-Man in your team and go through it?
No.
Oh, it must be in chapter 4. There's a thing where if you go, it requires you to have Spider-Man in your team, and it's a whole path full of question marks, and they're extremely tough to deal with. But like if you have Spider-Man in your team, he says like as you go past the thing, like when you're making the choice whether to go down that path or go the other way, he's like, "Whoa, man, I sense like." Well, like he says something like, yeah, it's like, oh, my spider sense is tingling, blah blah blah. And if you choose to go down that path, he's like, oh, seriously? All right, good luck, man. I warned you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I just backed out of that immediately. I think I could have handled it either way, but like I thought it was. When I saw that it required Spider-Man to do that, and I saw the thing, like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And, that's like, oh, that's. I went and looked at it for story purposes, and I was like, that's the most hilarious thing. But yeah, no, I don't think it might actually be chapter 4. I can't even go into it because I'm stuck in an event quest. Dude, what do you think about the spawn symbiote?
I haven't used it yet.
I used it in that daily event quest that you have, and it's pretty good.
Huh.
I've beaten the I've gone through the heroic monthly quest.
Yeah, I beat that.
Yeah. All right, so you
On
can
heroic.
you can level it up if you do that. I'm trying to fully complete it so I can get all the stuff for it.
Yeah.
I tried to do the master level quest, and I can't beat the second what it's
The second chapter.
no, not the second chapter. I beat the first. Hell, I can't even. I'm trying to play it and talk to you at the same time. No, what the hell is it called? The golden symbiote, the golden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the golden adaptoid. Yeah, I can't beat the master level golden adaptoid.
I can't either.
Oh, so you tried it?
Yeah, I tried it.
I didn't actually bring my Proxima Midnight, which I think would be good against that, just because she's good at beating that stuff. I also didn't bring my Wolverine and my Thor and my it was a hard fight. It was a hard slog to get to that, but
Yeah.
I think the key to actually being that stuff is advancing your My Little Symbioid.
Okay.
I've watched YouTube videos of rank 5 symbioids, or like ranking it up to rank 5, beating the epic boss, and all you do is pretty much just endlessly attack.
Okay.
And I think if you put the effort in, like if you beat the easy, medium, and hard mode, and advance your My Little Symbioid, you can take on the master level. And once you beat the master level, you can take on the expert level.
Huh. So you really need to use that for master.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. I mean, like I used it on a daily quest, and just like without any boosts, it deals bleed better than Wolverine. Like probably 2 or 3 times better than Wolverine. It deals bleed damage.
Wow.
That's to say nothing about its regeneration capabilities or anything like that. It makes you bleed like that. That's the only thing that I know about it, and it was just at level 1 for me.
Do you just add it to your roster?
Yeah, I just threw it in my roster just to see what it did, and I went and fought something with it that was like probably about 10 times stronger than it, and it made that thing bleed to death.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think what you have to do is rank it up as much as you can and spend your units just on trying to make the symbioid get you the good stuff. I'm trying to get Wolverine, Thor, and Vision to to rank 550. That's what I'm trying to get. And
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and I think this month's quest is gonna get that for me.
Wow.
If I can make it happen.
Through the master level?
Yeah, if I do the master level, and then if I can manage to get the symbioid high enough level, I think I might try the expert level.
Wow.
We'll see what
I
happens.
did notice that the champions on those boards, they have something called like shockwave or sound wave or something, where it reduces the abilities of the symbioid.
Yeah. Yeah, you can re-roll that.
How do you re-roll it?
Well, that's an item that you get that, like, probably you, like, if you go into your inventory and you look at, like, you go to your items and then you go to the stuff that's going to expire. There's probably stuff in your inventory that's going to expire. That yeah, as long as you play the daily events, which don't cost energy, by the way, which I'm kind of happy about, like the daily events.
Which events are those?
They're basically like the labyrinth, but they earn you special event credits.
Huh.
If you go to the store, they're like, yeah, right. If you go to the store, you have the game up right now.
Yeah.
Go to the store and go to where the hell? Go to enhancements.
Yeah, that's the symbioid store, yeah.
Yeah, right. So all of this stuff only applies to your My Little Symbioid, but if you look at what's all in here, it's really great stuff. Like, you can buy.
Okay.
You can buy a
These
ton of this
boosts?
stuff and activate it all at the same time, and then you can fight, like, your little symbioid can be powerful as shit, and they can fight stuff that you'd never be able to fight before.
Special 2 will execute the defender if they have 15% of their health or less.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. So if you can beat down that golden symbioid, for example, to 15% of his health and then hit him with special 2, he's dead.
Yeah, and that's pretty much nothing. Also, the other thing, I'm pretty pissed off that they have Venom the Duck as a character right now.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
I think it's stupid. Quite, like, there's what? I think there's like 6 or 7 symbioids in the Marvel universe that they could use instead of making up their own.
Yeah.
Anti-Venom. Just anti-Venom. Just
Yeah.
give us anti-Venom at the very least. But
He's
no.
Venom 2099, isn't he?
No. Anti-Venom. Ooh, no. Okay, yeah. So he does appear. Yeah, he is Venom 2099. But Anti-Venom does appear in the in a Spider-Man comic series, and he is a offspring of Venom, and he's pretty much twice as powerful as Venom.
Wow.
But other than that, Well, I mean, I can.
Oh, we got 3. We got Venom Pool. We got Venom and we got Carnage.
Venom Pool is a Kabam creation.
I thought he was too, but he's in a comic. I just saw the comic historian on YouTube did a video on him. I didn't watch it, but Venom Pool's actually in a comic.
Is it the Venom symbiote fused with Deadpool?
Yeah. The character design was identical to the Venom Pool in the game.
Oh, okay. So it was the one where he initially fused with the symbiote, and out of some strange mercy that Deadpool had, he released the symbiote back into stasis because he didn't want to infect the symbiote with his crazy mind.
Oh. Huh.
That's awful.
Wow.
Is that not the story?
I don't know. I didn't watch the video.
Oh no. No. Oh well,
There's
I don't
there's
know.
Agent Venom too.
Thank you. Oh, I know about Agent Venom. Agent Venom actually makes sense to me. Venom Pool does.
This is kind of my theory on why they didn't introduce any more exotic symbiotes with this monthly event quest. The Marvel Contest of Champions games doesn't directly reference the Sony movies.
Yeah, that's
so
true. Well,
they
yeah,
don't,
obviously, yeah, that's why they don't have the Fantastic Four and the Silver Surfer and all that stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and they give the X-Men love and they give Spider-Man universe love, but they don't like unless if it's Spider-Man Homecoming, they don't talk about it. Doesn't directly reference what they're like the Venom movie, for example. So they have this symbiote event quest up because it's Venom month, but it has nothing to do with the movie at all.
Right.
So they just come up with this nonsense.
They're cashing in on the movie, but first off, fuck this movie because they're going to remove the white on black spider symbol from Venom's chest because they've entirely disassociated Spider-Man from Venom.
Which they pretty much had to.
But how dare you make a Venom movie that has nothing to do with Spider-Man?
I agree with that. It's absurd.
The whole reason, and I'm gonna tell you, this is the reason, and you may not even know this, but the reason Venom is so obsessed with Spider-Man is because, according to canon, the first host that the symbiote bonded with was Spider-Man, but it was retconned in such a way that the first host that it actually bonded with, and it was during the Secret Wars, Deadpool actually bonded with the symbiote for about a second, and Deadpool released the symbiote back into its containment, and that gave the symbiote its obsessive compulsion to bond with its next host.
Huh.
And when Spider-Man received its new suit during the Secret Wars, it bonded with the Venom symbiote, and throughout the throughout the Ultimate Spider-Man arc, it lost connection with the symbiote, but it like that's the like there's no such thing as Venom without Spider-Man, because Venom is it has a compulsion to rebind with Spider-Man. Like
Yeah.
Venom's like, yeah, and that's Venom's whole deal is Spider-Man is the best host, and it will do anything to get Spider-Man near it.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. The symbiote, yeah, wants to kill Spider-Man because he rejected him. That's the story. Eddie Brock hates Peter Parker. The symbiote hates Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Those two merge together. They become this horrific villain.
Yeah.
It's weird that there's one without the other.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what Sony wants to do, you know?
Well, Sony can do whatever the hell they want, honestly, and people can think whatever they want. But and the biggest telltale thing that they're not doing the right thing is they're removing the white spider from Venom's chest.
That's kind of a I think that's a bad move, because that makes him so much more marketable.
Yeah, wait till you watch the movie. The whole thing that identifies Venom as anti-Spider-Man is the fucking spider on his chest. And they're just they're idiots. They don't understand. Did
you see it?
I haven't seen it. I honestly
haven't seen it either.
I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to put my money into it because of the stuff that I like. Just it doesn't make sense to me. Why would I go and watch a movie about Venom that has nothing to do why would I watch a movie about Venom that has nothing to do with Spider-Man? Why would I do that? That's retarded.
Well, this version of Venom is the Lethal Protector version, from what I understand. And they're relaunching the comic of Venom going off on his own and being a hero. And in the movie, he fights another symbiote called Rampage or something like that.
Is it his grandchild? I think
there was there was a comic arc where I think the government tried to weaponize the symbiote, so they took these five additional offspring from the Venom symbiote. So you've got Carnage, he's an offspring, but there were more of them, like Chaos and Shock and Rampage, etc.
Yeah.
The villain in the movie is one of those.
Okay. Look, I'm drinking out of my Thor mug.
Nice. I did see a new video today.
I've lost about 25 pounds. Can you tell?
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I can. Yeah. That's great.
Yeast, it has a lot to do with controlling my drinking.
Wow.
Not that tonight applies, but
nice.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna make Katrina get up early, and we're gonna go exercise. So.
No.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, you might get a reprieve. I've been breaking bike pedals. I don't know if you knew this was possible, but we started riding bikes a lot more frequently, and because I'm a maniac, I go on more bike rides than she does, and I just break the shit out of bike pedals. There's hills everywhere that we live, and I get to basically what happens is I get to the top of a hill and I just snap a bike pedal off.
Wow.
It's getting ridiculous. Like I have no idea where I'm supposed to buy bike pedals that stand up to the force that I apply to them. It's ridiculous. Like I can't put more than 3 miles on a bike pedal before it snaps.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. It's not like I'm fucking Lance Armstrong just fucking riding the shit out of bikes. I'm climbing a hill and it
Yeah.
just, bam, pedal snaps. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I have no advice. That's an unusual circumstance. Comic Storian has a video of Venom, all of the symbiotes. Know your universe. I'll have to watch that one. But he had another one that caught my eye earlier. I think it was called "Is Runic King Thor the most powerful guy in Marvel?"
No, he's not.
That may be the conclusion. Is he the one? Is that the version of Thor that fought Galactus one-on-one?
Yes. Yeah. Rune King Thor. Yeah, he actually bodies Galactus. Which is not surprising because Odin can body Galactus. Rune King Thor is probably he's pretty powerful, but I think he's like 8th dimensional powerful. He's not 9th dimensional. So there's
Is that the highest tier?
Yeah, 9 is like the one above all, which is basically Stan Lee. Yeah. So
Stan Lee's the most powerful guy in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, he's the one above all. Stan Lee is. Yeah, it's hilarious, but it's also pretty cool. No, so I think within the like that god tier Thor, whatever, he sacrifices both of his eyes in order to gain more power than Odin, and so it's kind of implied that he gains twice the power of Odin, but
oh, I see.
The power that he's shown to control, I think, is well beyond twice the power of the All-Father. And so, like, if I were to put an estimate on the power that he has, I think it's I think Galactus is something that All-Father Thor would laugh at. Yeah, and and that's kind of obvious because in some situations Odin laughs at Galactus. It really depends on who's writing sometimes, but there are situations where Thor is all powerful, but he doesn't. There are just always things that stack up stronger than Thor.
Yeah, right. I'm reading this Comic Vine list of the top 100 Marvel characters in terms of power. Number 1 is the one above all. Number 2, Heart of the Universe. 3, Beyonders. 4, The Beyonder. 5 Molecule Man, 6 First Firmament, 7 Starbrand, 8 Adam Warlock, 9 Living Tribunal, 10 Magus.
I don't know who Magus is. Do you mind sharing that? Do you mind screen sharing that?
Phew.
Oh,
We both know I don't know how to do that. I'll text it to you.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah, because that list seemed legit for a little while.
All right, just texted it to you. Magus. Celestials is 11. The Marquis of Death is 14. I don't even know who these guys are. A lot of them.
Yeah, there's some you. Well, the top 10 I know, but some of the ones that you were starting to talk about, I have no idea.
Death is 24. Wow. I am just, I don't know anything about Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, Franklin Richards is 35.
Well, stand by. What were you saying, Jack?
I'm just reading this list.
Oh. Oh, I think I may have the old list.
Thanos is 95. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Thanos is kind of like low on the list, like, but it doesn't make good cinematic. Whatever. One of the things that I want to talk about the contest is I don't know if you noticed this, but Juggernaut recently got buffed.
No.
Yeah. So as long as he's unstoppable, if anybody parries him, rather than becoming stunned, he applies a fatigue debuff to the opponent.
Okay.
And that's really good because fatigue nullifies any positive buffs that the opponent, like the next positive buff the opponent could have.
I think I did see that, actually.
Yeah, they also buffed it so that every heavy attack applies the fatigue. So now, if you start, yeah. So now, if you have a dupe Juggernaut, if you start the fight, you're automatically unstoppable. If you just slamming heavy attacks, even if it's against another Juggernaut, just keep slamming heavy attacks, the next time that Juggernaut tries to trigger an unstoppable, it's not going to trigger because it's been fatigued. And so,
Yeah, wow.
just keep slamming heavy attacks. Like if you have Juggernaut and he's duped, slam heavy attacks until you get your first special, initiate your first special, and slam heavy attacks. I think you'll be hard pressed to find a better attacker in the Mystic class for like mid range to like average players. Like if I have the opportunity to, I'm gonna like, not that I think I will, but if I can, I'm gonna try to dupe my 5-star Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if that happens, I think that's gonna be a like when I run the rounds in my 3 and 2 stars in the arena. When I use Juggernaut, I take no damage because I just heavy attack, and use my special whenever I can, and just repeat the heavy attacks over and over again. And there's like, what is anybody gonna do to me? They can't activate any good abilities. The best they can do is dodge a heavy attack. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, so basically Juggernaut is not garbage anymore. But
okay.
Yeah, Juggernaut is no longer garbage. Just keep using heavy attack with Juggernaut if you can. That being said, I think Morningstar is universally considered to be the second best Mystic champion. So
people think Juggernaut's the best?
Oh no, Juggernaut is like mid-tier Mystic champion. Mephisto, Morningstar, Magic, they're all Dormammu, yeah, they're all better than Juggernaut. I tell you what, like if I had the option, I would trade you characters like Morningstar, and there's a couple of ones that like your synergies would work better with. Like Morningstar and Mephisto work really good together.
Okay.
Since they both have those like soul counters, if they're on the same team, you gain pretty much 1 soul per fight or something like that. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Mephisto starts with 3. And then he gains 1 per victory. Like carry over.
Oh well, yeah. I don't know how Mephisto works.
This is how I use them. I mean, yeah. So Morningstar, I don't have her. I've never played with her. I don't think she starts with any.
No, she starts with none.
Mephisto, he starts with 3. And his special 1 burns one of the counters to put Soulbind on the opponent. And basically what that does is it decreases the chance that the champion will trigger an ability. So let's say Wolverine, you're fighting Wolverine, you put Soulbind on him.
Okay.
It'll reduce the chance that his regeneration will activate. And that lasts a pretty long time. I don't know what the percent chance is.
Yeah.
So the fight starts with one of those on the opponent. So like let's say you're fighting a duped Juggernaut. Maybe he doesn't start with Unstoppable. Maybe he does.
Yeah.
It could be 50-50. So basically how I use that though is once his health goes below 30,
What you doing, Jack?
once his health drops below 30%, he'll burn all of his soul charges, and he pretty much goes up to, I'd say, close to 100% health.
Huh.
So that's basically, I don't, with Mephisto, I never and maybe this is just because I'm an idiot. I guess I don't fully realize the benefit of those soul putting soulbind on someone. So I never burn the charge using a special one, because to me there's more value in stacking those up and using them to heal later on in the quest.
Yeah, yeah.
So once per fight, if you use his special 3, he can drain 2 bars of power. You
Sorry, Jack.
What?
you can. Oh, good night, Katrina.
No, I just interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Oh, with Mephisto, once per fight, his special 3 drains 2 bars of power.
Right. So.
And it surrounds Mephisto with like a incinerate aura.
Incineration, yeah.
His special 2 and special 3 does that. So usually what I do with him is, if I'm fighting a weak opponent, I'll use the special 2. If I'm fighting a strong opponent, I'll save to the special 3 and just burn their power. I never burn the soul charges, and I just save those for when he drops below 30%. And then that allows him to regenerate. And the usefulness in that is Mephisto just in that month, the new monthly quest. I think Venom is the boss on the second board.
Yeah.
He just wrecks Venom. Because you can drain his power and you can regenerate your health. I think each time I fought Venom, I finished that fight with over 50% health with Mephisto, and I didn't die.
Huh. On heroic?
That was the master level Venom.
Huh. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty impressive.
His only downside is he's not very strong.
Yeah.
So
that's something you see with Mephisto, I think.
One of his downsides is he's not that strong. So I have him ranked 2, 5-star. His normal attack does like 170 damage.
Yeah, that's like 3-star level.
He's also fairly annoying because he uses a whip, so you're just like, you just want to turn the sound off when you're using them.
Well, yeah, I've never had the sound on when I play, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it may be detrimental to me, but I don't give a shit. I don't play with the sound on.
So he's okay. I don't have him unawakened. I don't have him awakened, so.
I don't think he's that much better awakened. I don't know, but I understand what you're saying. He's very complex to try to deal with, and that's something that I looked at with Morningstar. Although I think.
Oh yeah, I was trying to read about her. It's like a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you end the fight with if you end the combo with a medium attack, which I can't pull that off. Maybe you could.
Yeah, I've actually gotten to a point where, since I got that 5-star Proxima Midnight, I had to learn how to intercept attacks like consistently intercept attacks and incapacitate without parrying. So yeah, it's been hard trying to like they're top level characters for a reason.
Wow.
Yeah,
If you're good.
Yeah, if you're good at the game, they're good characters. But most of the time, I'm sat there spending half of my health just trying to fucking intercept the attack. God damn it! And the thing is, like, I do it instinctually with Wolverine every time because he's quick. But Proxima Midnight takes fucking forever to do anything. So
yeah,
that's the other thing about her is you not only have to react instantaneously, you have to react the fastest of all the instantaneous reactions. And her dodge is rather than most dodges is being like half the screen, her dodge is like a tiny hop backwards. So you know, like if you want to dodge like the like let's just randomly let's say fucking Yellow Jacket. Say you want to dodge Yellow Jacket's heavy attack, you need to dodge like 3 fucking times. Because you need to like hop back in order to get out of the range of that secondary heavy attack. Now, in all reality, when you see him charging for the heavy attack, you just go and beat him up. But let's say you want to bait him in order to using his special 2, so that you don't have to suffer through his special 3. You have to hop back, and then block, and hope that he uses it before you get within range, so that he can put a combo on you. It's pretty ridiculous sometimes. That's why I like power control champions like Hawkeye and Vision.
Yeah. I just got a 4-star Civil Warrior.
Huh.
And
Civil Warrior is pretty good for power control.
His special 2 drains 60% of their max power.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not the best out there, but it's pretty good.
That's pretty good. He's also another very bad sound design one.
Yeah, again, I don't play with the sound on, so I don't even think about it. But that's the whole reason I like Vision is his special 2 drains 100% power. So yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's I don't even need him awakened. I'm taking him up no matter what. Like you can fight anybody. You're gonna get the special 2 before they get the special 3, and if you can hit him with it, bam, power drain. You're back to 0, and you can just beat him up. If you play a reasonably good game, Vision is a good character to play. That's like everybody says that that Star-Lord duped is a god tier character, and I understand why, but I don't.
Why do people say that?
Well, because dupe Star-Lord, he gains physical attack for each hit on his combo meter. And it's some outrageous amount that something like if you end up at 30 hits on your combo, you're out damaging anybody else in your class no matter what. And by the time you hit 100 on your combos, you're out damaging any character no matter what rank, no matter anything.
Huh.
Yeah. 3 it was so bad, especially back before we quit. It was infinite, and people got so good at playing that character that they were just beating the Realm of Legends with just 3-star dupe Star-Lords. Because they would play the game so good that they would dodge everything, and they would get like infinitely high combo meters. And by the time they were done with the fight, they were doing like 10% damage on heroes that like Realm of Legends people. It got
Wow.
that bad that they had to limit it to a 300 hit combo meter.
Wow.
So if you're so good at the game that you can literally not be touched, then of course Star-Lord is the best character to have, especially Duke, because you just he's statistically the most damage you can deal on offense.
Wow.
If you can put an unbreakable combo together. But like me and you, we don't always, go for unbreakable combos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to parry and you just get punched anyway.
Yeah. So I don't always get to do unbreakable combos. So I'd
Yeah.
like to get punched every once in a while and still survive. Maybe one day I'll be good enough at the game where I never get punched at all, but that's not happening right now.
Yeah, or the guy that beat Maestro at the 3-star.
Yeah.
Easy game. He said easy game, easy life.
Yeah. I did.
Okay.
I took an offset, meaning we were on Alliance War and Alliance Quest map 3. So I took a bunch of 330 4-stars into map 4, and I took the long route around, and I still beat the Maestro without using heals or revives. It was really tough. It required all my focus to do it. So it is possible. I know it is possible, but it's something that you're going to spend most of your evening just fighting the fights. To just play perfectly through them. So I know it's possible for 330s with at 4-star. So I'm sure you can do it with 3 stars, max out 3 stars. But it just takes it takes so much focus and energy to do it.
I think it was a guy. He was using a free-to-play account.
Yeah.
So he was just going through the story. So whatever he got, he got. He wasn't a member of an alliance.
Yeah.
I don't think he had any 4-stars. And you just have to be good at the game. Just get good. Don't suck, and you'll beat them.
Yeah, just get good. Just like literally dodge everything, block everything. It's fun. Yeah, that's something I also thought about. It's like, well, I really like playing Contest of Champions. What if I started a second account and played it to a point where I could sell it? How much money could I get? Well, as it turns out, people are selling accounts that are pretty much where I am for like $100.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, including all the time I've put into this game, that's like 50 cents a day. I don't if it was worth it to grind this game, I might do it. So I think I'm reasonably good at it. If I was good enough, maybe hey, total completion of Act 3 and a couple of 4 and 5-star characters. Here you go. Here's give me like $400. I could probably do that. As a side way to make money or something. But
yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's not really worth it.
Yeah, no. You want my account for $100? Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. Yeah, another thing is if I want to barely increase my account, I gotta spend $100. or I have to grind for months at a time. Those are my options. Spend $100
Yeah.
to grind for just months.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, where I've got a lot of 330s. And if I want to start turning them over, I have to either just grind through the story or start spending money.
Just grind it out, man. And also, yeah, just grind it out. That's what you gotta do. Don't spend money. But I'm at a point where I have enough tier 4 basics, and I'm just gonna sit on those until I can get my first 550.
Nice.
It'll happen at the end of this month, for sure, as long as I log in every day.
Wow.
Have you looked at the monthly calendar?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's why I told you, like, log in every day, man. Like, you're gonna regret it if you don't. Yeah, so basically, what is it? It's the last weekend of this month. I'm guaranteed that I'll get my first 550. Because
Wow.
it doesn't matter what tier 4 class catalyst I get. I'm gonna pull my third for
Wow,
whatever.
the last 3 days they give you 5-star shards.
Yeah, 250 a piece. So what? So that's a total of
750.
750. So that's that's less than 10% of a 5-star.
7.5%.
Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Yeah, that's
something.
No, the thing that you want out of it is the tier 4 class catalyst.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So by that point, I'll be able to get enough tier 4 basic to level up my Iceman, and then Hyperion's coming after that. No. I need my Iceman, and then I need my Morningstar. Because Morningstar is a fucking amazing character. And I'm glad I pulled her. But yeah. We'll see what I pull first. If it's tech, it's gonna be Vision. If it's cosmic, it's gonna be Thor. If it's Mystic, it's gonna be Morningstar. Skill, I think I might go Hawkeye and just increase my my 5-star.
Wow.
Yeah. Mutant, obviously Wolverine. And Science is the other one that I have nobody that I really super enjoy.
Well, from what I've gleaned from YouTubers, Science is a class that just has rubbish characters. The best I can gather is Void.
Yeah, everybody unanimously agrees that Void is a great character.
After that, Science is considered to just be a rubbish class. The best one after that is probably Red Hulk.
Yeah, any version of Hulk except for She-Hulk seems to be pretty good.
Oh yeah, She-Hulk gets trashed. Hulk is revered for his special 3. I haven't really seen a commentary on Red Hulk, but I'm thinking he must be so good because of his incineration.
Yeah, the incineration stacks. That's what happened. Yeah, like and I've fought so many times against the Red Hulk and just died to those that it's stupid.
Oh yeah, he gains stacked incineration tokens when he gets damaged.
Yeah.
So he can just kill you without even hitting you if you hit him.
Yeah. You just beat him up, and if you can't bait him into using a special attack, he just one-shots you with his special 3.
Oh. And then if you try to poison him, he converts that to a heat charge.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
So if you try to incinerate him or poison him, he converts it to a heat charge.
Yeah.
If he blocks energy attacks, he can convert those into heat charges.
Yeah, it's so She-Hulk is so bad that the last Alliance war that we were in, I made it to one of the semi-final bosses, and it was a She-Hulk, and the power index was something like 20,000.
Wow.
I took my last remaining character, which was just my World War II Captain America, into the fight, and I took that She-Hulk down to 20% health.
Wow.
By the end of the fight. Yeah. That's how bad She-Hulk is as a character.
Wow.
And that's kind of why I like my World War II Captain America. He has perfect block proficiency. So I can, it doesn't matter if he does a lot of damage. We can last the fight as long as I play good enough. Like, as long as I block everything, he'll block it out.
Nice.
And so I think if I have to do something with science, it's going to be World War II Cap. But yeah.
Okay. I do have a 330 World War II Cap.
He duped?
No.
Oh, see, that's the thing. I think you need to have him awakened in order for him to get that block proficiency up.
Okay.
Yeah, him being duplicated makes it so that he has a greater chance to perfect block. And
Is She-Hulk worse than Joe Fixit?
About the same.
Wow.
I don't know. I think if I was opening a 5-star crystal right now and it was the choice between Joe Fixit and She-Hulk, I'd take Joe Fixit. And then, if those were my two choices, I'd take Joe Fixit.
Well, the thing about She-Hulk, what does she do?
Yeah, that's the problem. She doesn't do a goddamn thing. Yeah, at least Joe Fixit does something.
Yeah, he can make you bleed.
Yeah. He can hit True Strike. If he gambles right, he can hit True Strike and just ignore your evasion. That's at least something. Like She-Hulk, you have to play perfectly on offense in order to get utility out of She-Hulk. And who the fuck even does that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so science in general is considered to be kind of it's probably the worst class.
Yeah.
With the exception of Void. Void can beat you up without even hitting you. He can just... You have to be like a character like Cable or Wolverine or someone that just stacks a lot of buffs.
Yeah.
He could turn those against you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with Void that's the whole thing is he turns your buffs into debuffs, and yeah, it's science is universally regarded as a garbage class.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad. I would happily take a 5-star Thor or a 5-star or 5-star Hulk, like basically any 5-star Hulk, except for She-Hulk. I'd take a 5-star or a 4-star MODOK. They're so freaking frustrating to fight.
Yeah, right. That auto block.
Unless you have Proxima Midnight, who just ignores that as long as they have True Strike. So yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I've learned that Killmonger is the auto block slayer.
Oh yeah, Killmonger's kind of good. Well, Killmonger's yeah, like I've seen some people put Killmonger at B tier in terms of like skill champions, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's
Huh.
got a special one that gives him like 3 stacks of invulnerability. Like you just if you just rush the opponent and hit your special one, you can be a stupid idiot and be the best attacker ever.
Yeah. It was a long time I watched the video, but he's got different kind of counters. So he's got this one kind of counter where if you like stack them and then hit a special, like you can bleed the fuck out of the guy.
Yeah.
He does have that indestructible. He has this thing called reverb where he can if you
yeah.
like if you bleed him, he can it just goes to you.
Yeah. I've had that happen to me a couple of times, and I don't remember how I figured out how to beat it because I don't like off the top of my head. I don't actually know. But
yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah. I would have to say, you know, if you get yourself a Hulk, or consider yourself lucky. Because if you just like, I've got a ton of science guys, and prior to the Hulk, they just all suck.
Well, I've got a lot of skill guys, and quite frankly, I'm happy with. Electro was one that I recently duped. That I'm starting to kind of fall in love with.
Huh.
Each of her specials cause bleeding, and if the opponent is invulnerable to bleeding, they cause armor break. So she she's not the best skill character, but she's a very reliable skill character.
She can beat you up.
Yeah. I don't particularly like her, but especially compared to Hawkeye or
Well, it looks like she has the inherent assassinate mastery.
yeah, right. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. When she's duped, she's guaranteed a critical hit when the opponent is less than 25% health, which is
That seems like it's pretty useful.
yeah, that's pretty amazing for like that's a boss killer right there. So I think I might start using her for Alliance War, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like our alliance doesn't take on quests hard enough. That we need, like a pitched effort to beat.
Yeah, in fact, no one even communicates with each other.
Yeah, we just kind of like casually slide through the quests.
I like it. Hey, if you could play, join. All right.
Yeah, that's.
It doesn't matter where the fuck you go. Okay.
Yeah, but I'd like some of the top guys to try to take on map 4 at least. I mean, I think I qualify to try to take on map 4. Like I could take down some paths.
Heck, in this alliance, I'm like a good player.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of why I invited you here. It's like I figured like, well, hey, as long as he shows up, he's going to be a great player in this alliance.
Yeah, as long as I'm playing, like I'll play a war and I'll be like, oh man, I sucked in that war, and I'll be the top half in kills.
Yeah.
I'll feel real bad. I'll be like, oh man, I only took down 4 guys, and then no one else did that.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what's everyone else doing? I mean, in the last war, there was one guy, he had like 13 computer kills and 8 regular kills, but then everyone else was like, one computer kill and 0 player kills. What did that person do?
Yeah. 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 I think you're so used to how alliances used to be that you're still not fully.
Yeah, I mean, you're not getting, like, if I would have done that in the last one, that board is not getting 100% completed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then everyone's just pissed.
Yeah, and they're just like, what the fuck, Jack? Yeah,
but you do that, you get one.
Why don't you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and clear your node?
Right. You didn't clear your node, you asshole. Whereas, hey, you get 1 defender kill and 4 regular kills, and that's just fine.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like I told you, like I top the boards half the time, and I just play when, like, I'm not here giving it to the alliance,
Yeah, that's a nice thing about the alliance. I mean, the other one was nice because you get so many tier 1 alphas, they're just expiring.
Yeah.
Where now that's actually a concern with this alliance. Like, how am I going to get those?
I don't know, dude. I've been selling tier 1 alphas.
Yeah, I like this alliance.
Yeah, I think it's just our speed.
Yeah, it was fun being a part of Army of Asgard, but
yeah,
you gotta really be constantly playing. It felt like.
Yeah. Well, Jed,
and not only playing but performing.
Yeah, you have to. Well, yeah, and I was an officer in that group too. And so, like I was constantly on the forums, like looking for new people and trying to kick other people out. And it's like, yeah, it became too stressful.
Yeah. Oh, this person opened a crystal during opening week or save week. He's got to go.
Well, to be fair, if you're I open whatever the fuck I want whenever I want, and I still top the charts on opening weeks. So I can do what I want. But
yeah, no one seems to really mind. They just say, "Hey, friendly reminder, don't open."
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, if for the whole opening week you're putting up less than 1,000 points, you're probably wrong. And especially if you're doing that and opening on the off weeks, yeah,
right, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't care if you're just playing casually, but if you're opening on the off weeks and you're not putting up at least 10,000 for the on weeks, yeah, we're gonna kick you for that. I don't know. Jed talks to me once a week about becoming an officer, and I'm just like, no, dude, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to pressure people and I just want to play the game. Like I just want to play the game.
Good, man. That guy, he has a high level anxiety about this game.
He does. Well, I don't know how much time he puts into it, but having 2 accounts, like it. There are occasions where like today, I've put in all the I've topped out in all the arenas that I can top out on.
Nice.
As of this morning, I did that.
Just the top milestone?
Yeah, top milestones, yeah. And it wasn't that hard. But then I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, if I actually wanted any of these characters, I could play all fucking weekend and I might be able to win one of them. But too bad I don't want any of them.
Well, you could do. Well, you have a 5-star Proxima Midnight.
Yeah, that's what I thought. If it was a 4-star one, I definitely would go for it. But my 4-star one, I don't give a shit about because I have a 5-star one, and I don't think I'm likely to win a 4-star Agent Venom.
I think the game trolls you on that.
Sometimes.
It's like, oh, you have a 5-star Mordo. Here's a 4-star Mordo.
Yeah.
I know you just used all your quest refills to get 100% in the first act of the monthly event to get the 500 4-star shards so you can open a 4-star crystal. So here you go. Here's a 4-star Mordo. Even though we gave you a 5-star one 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know what though? This is what happens with this game. For weeks and months, it'll just give you shit characters. Just shit characters. Just shit. Then you'll just start getting discouraged, and then you'll get a 4-star and a premium hero crystal. That's what I'm going through now. My last 2 big crystal openings were a 5-star Kamala Khan and a 4-star Mordo.
Oh. Well, yeah, you got the Kamala Khan, but then you got Mordo.
Yeah, but I already had him though.
Oh, you duped your Mordo, huh?
No, I didn't. I didn't even do that. I have a 5-star Mordo, and I got a 4-star Mordo.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest kick in the nuts is when you have a 5-star version of a character and then you get a 4-star version of
Yeah, so I was using energy refills because I really wanted to open a 4-star crystal, and it was a 4-star Mordo. So maybe I'm gonna get like a void in a shard crystal, and then I'm gonna get another one in a premium in 2 months.
I'm pretty disappointed they discontinued the dungeons.
Huh.
I don't know if you were playing the dungeons, but I was.
I only played it once.
Well, the dungeons had you can go to the shop and pay off and use the rewards you get from the dungeons to buy 4-star hero crystals. And
Wow.
It only took 9,000 whatevers.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was something like 2. If you participated, the dungeons were 3-day events. If you participated to the maximum in each one, it only took you 3 weeks to get a 4-star hero crystal out of it, that's not nothing. But
yeah.
The best part was you got to select which 4-star hero crystal you got, and some of them were way better than others. The one that I was going for, that I'm like, I'm still about 3,000 away from it, which was like pretty much, like next week I was gonna get it. It was Thor, Blade, Ghost Rider. It was just like crazy good heroes that I was looking at.
Wow.
Yeah, there are some of them that are garbage, and so but it was like more than 50% of the 4-star heroes that I could have gotten. I would have just been in love with.
They'll bring it back.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Yeah, stupid Proxima Midnight and your off featured bullshit. Yeah, I hit that this morning. I hit the milestone this morning, and some of the off featured champions go for like 2 million sometimes. But it's like, if that was somebody that I really wanted to get, like I probably could have gotten it this weekend, but turns out It's approximate midnight. Person I already have and I don't give a shit about is a 4-star. Yeah, so whatever.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, this is a good game. I'm constantly tempted to spend money, but
Yeah, don't do it. Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to, I told you this last week about spending money. I told you about a deal that I thought was a pretty good deal.
yeah.
Did you end up using your gift certificate on that?
I tried to, but it couldn't verify the identity of the card user.
Okay. All right.
So maybe I could try again.
Well, yeah, maybe, yeah, like I guess, like at least make sure it'll work. But I guess today's deal, if you spend $100,
Wow.
you can get 2,000 6-star hero crystal shards.
Oh wow.
Which, like, just right off the bat is like, holy shit! Like, how do you ever even get those?
Yeah, how can you get them?
Yeah.
Well, you can get them through the 5th act.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. If you're that good at playing the game, you can get them. But yeah, if you want to spend money on it, this is the first opportunity that Kabam has given you to spend money on 6-star hero crystals.
Wow.
Yeah. So here, $100 will get you a 5th of a 6-star hero and also a 5th
Wow.
of a tier 2 alpha catalyst. That's what it'll get you.
If you complete Act 5, you get 2,500. 100% completion is another 2,500. And that's it, it looks like. You can get 5,000 6-shard crystals, 6-star shard crystals by 100% completing Act 5. You can get half of a 6-star.
Yeah, if you're good enough to do that, you might as well be in the arena earning your weekly 6-star shards. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some just sick people at this game. I mean, oh yeah, Agent Venom. Yeah, if you want a 6-star Agent Venom, go for it.
Yeah, actually, if Asian Venom was the off champion, like if the 4-star arena was Agent Venom, I'd probably bust my ass to get it. But since it's Proxima Midnight, who I already have a 4-star champion of, that I have no intention of ranking up because I already have a 5-star version of.
Yeah.
It's like the game is just intentionally trolling me.
You think 2 million points would get her?
Well, 2 million points got the off brand when the last week when Emma Frost came out, or no, Omega Red came out last week. So 2 weeks ago when Emma Frost came out and in
Wow.
Luke Cage. Yeah, 2 million got a 4-star Luke Cage.
Wow.
That'll
get you ranked.
That was also the same week that the first week it took 65 million points in order to get a 5-star Emma Frost.
Wow.
Yeah. And the week after that, it only took 23 million points. Because it took so many points to get it the first time that so many people got intimidated and backed out that that it dropped back down to normal range.
Yeah, wow.
But like, who played it? Who played it so much that they got like? Who sat there day in and day out, spending money, refreshing their champions so they can get a 5-star Emma Frost? Like, who's out there? Because I can't imagine how long it takes to build up 65 million points.
Wow.
Just for reference,
It was really 65 million?
yeah, straight up 65 million to get Emma Frost the first time around. It was only 23 million to get her the second time around, which is like a reasonable amount. But that's like, let's say you only had 3 5-stars. Uh, I guess it's like spending $200 on her.
Wow, $200.
But on top of spending that much money, you have to stay up night and day and play the game in order to like fight in the arena. Yeah. So you can't like, that's assuming we're not piloting, right? So
Yeah, okay.
you had to stay up and physically play in the arena with your top champions and refresh them constantly. Just over and over again, refresh them and play in the arena. You didn't get sleep for like 3 days, and you
Wow.
won a 5-star Emma Frost.
She's pretty OP.
She is pretty OP.
I mean, if you have the time, I could see doing it.
Yeah, it's almost ridiculous that Kabam would put something like that into the game.
You can't stun her if she's in diamond form. That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you can't do anything to her in diamond form, which is a pain in the ass.
Yeah. And she's in diamond form as long as you have a full bar of power over her.
Yeah. Yeah, which like when it almost feels like when the fuck doesn't that happen when you're fighting her?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because she keeps using her level 1 attack against you.
Yeah.
Unless you're the Juggernaut or Magneto, it's like it's gonna hurt really bad.
Yeah, because you can't move basically because it reverses your controls.
Yeah. Yeah, I never took the time to learn how to beat Emma Frost. There are people out there who just have it figured out, and they're just like, oh yeah, she's easy. All you have to do is blah 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 blah. Like, yeah, okay, guy.
All you
First
have
off,
to do.
I need to make it to the end of the fucking journey with somebody.
Yeah, right.
There's things on eBay that you can buy. I'm not even sure how I discovered this. I think it was just like I just Googled how to become uncollected, and I found that on eBay you can pay somebody who will, if you have the right champions, take over your account and make you uncollected.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. That's like
How much do you got to pay him?
I think it's like $200 or something like that, and he'll do it for you in a weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, if I was that good at the game and I could, score $200 a weekend by unlocking people at, I'd probably try to do that too. I don't know how many customers he gets. He probably doesn't get very many, but there's probably one person probably every month. He probably makes $200 a month unlocking somebody.
Wow, neat. Good for that person.
Yeah, good for him. I wish I was that good at the game that I could just oh hey, I can make 200 extra bucks this weekend by playing the Contest of Champions.
Yeah.
That'd be a great weekend for me. If I could just make 200 bucks a weekend by playing my favorite game, that'd be amazing. What idiot wouldn't do that?
Right, right.
I was looking at this tier list that you sent me, and some of the stuff makes an awful lot of sense, and some of the stuff is like, I need to look back into this. One of the things that Franklin Richards being number 10 doesn't really sit well with me. And I may not know an awful lot about Franklin Richards. I know he's an Omega level mutant. And he's definitely got at least 4D, if not 5D powers. But somebody like Jaspers is so much more powerful than Franklin Richards that, just who's after him?
Let's see. On the list, he's
Right. Yeah, like as if Franklin Richards is stronger than the Celestials order.
on the list I'm looking at. He's 35.
Oh, okay.
The Celestials are 11.
Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. All right. Well, we'll talk about this another time. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm pretty tired.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you later, Jack.
Yeah. Good night.
Night, bud.